Yeah. Better know my head, but I don't talk about it, be about it. That's the code we live in the game with them pit bulls. See the proof and how to give from the pit to the trophies. Every chain, every game. Don't talk about it, be about it, be about it. Don't talk about it, be about it. That's the code we live in the game with them pit bulls. See the proof and how to give from the pit to the trophies. Every chain, every game. Don't talk about it, be about it, be about it. Most wanted kennels in the spotlight, danger alert, come with the name. Super kennels competition, all built for the fame. Work kennels was the work and work, while Cherokee kept the game strong. Evolution built a bloodline, where the heart come from. These dogs ain't hype, they the truth in the pit. Every pedigree stamp, when them paws hit the street. Ain't no fairy tales, this that real y'all grit. Don't talk about it, be about it. That's the pit bull script. Shout the brothers with the backbone thick. Veer brothers, color brothers, Bishop brothers legit. They don't talk about it, they be about it every day. Put the work in and y'all let the results say. Them boys on the rise, yeah, the circle stay tight. Plow boys, wall boys, Havana boys in the fight. Different flags, same ground, same fire, same spit. Don't talk about it, be about it. That's the litmus test.
Legs in the doom, behind set tone. Locked tight, locked in, carved in stone. Church boys hold it with the pit bull gauge. Fruit colors on man, Sean B in the maze. Arsenal game bill, but your knife stay sharp. Only in America, walk them down, ram in the dark. DSK and Mad Ohio dog, pound by hard when they hit. Praise to the men who rock this shit.
Don't talk about it, be about it.
Yeah, they live it.
Fat boy the legend, Bill Buster, real strong, southern bulldog, keep the bloodline long. Latin force pressure, sniper don't miss. Shaded day, shaded with a killer instinct. Twist, super night power, unit whole rank. Boot camp, click hitting like a Sherman tank. Little fine with the vision. Tennessee dog pound, got their eyes on the pit. All legendary, really the shit. Don't talk about it, be about it.
Yeah, they built it brick by brick.
Talk about it. Yeah, they built it brick by brick. Talk about it. Yeah, they built it brick by brick. Talk about it. Don't talk about it, be about it. Don't talk about it. That's the yard law, from the pups to the legends. Everybody stand tall. Every name on this track got a story that's lit. Don't talk about it, be about it.
Every name on this track got a story that's lit.
Don't talk about it, be about it.
Call this some legendary pit bullshit. Pit bullshit. Pit bullshit. Pit bullshit. Pit bullshit. Pit bullshit.
The dog game is dying. Let's talk about the game first, not the dogs. It's the challenge of the wins, the competitive addiction, the thrill of the win, and the rewards of achievements. Losing only gives you the drive to come back. I learned to watch the winners, my motivation was there, my dedication was evident, now I'm a winner. The problem is the cheating to win, manipulating the truth, and then it's the all outliers. How is this sharing our achievements with liars, cheaters, and bullshitters? We have lost the historical value of the dog game. We can't decipher the real from the fake, the lost.
It's Mo and Mike in the house.
Going hard with the legends, paying homage, you know. Yo, twins Mo and Mike, we running this game. Legends in the making, never gonna be the same. Kennels popping hard, these game dogs raised right. The brat, pretty mama, they shining so bright. LeMayday, what a day, they breathe the heat. Red Ruby L-Rod, they can't accept defeat. With 38 special and yellow bird, we top tier champions, grand champions, ain't no fear.
Run the register of merit, we got the elite. Made a bug Jeep, yellow Frisco, feel the beat. Females like honey bunching awesome, baby, we tight. Bloodline strong, spreading knowledge, taking flight. Scratch to win, don't talk, be about it. We the real deal, you know it's no doubt about it.
KPTO, the modern Earl Tudor. Got in the pack, making moves like a tutor. APT, family thick, like legends in the game. Legend of them, Triple M. Shout out the name, Deep South, Roadblock. We upholding tradition. Mama, Southern Kennels, we got that ambition. Hardcore hitters, Stone City brings the fire. The Abrahams, the fam lifting us higher.
Run the register of merit, we got the elite. Made a bug Jeep, yellow Frisco, feel the beat. Females like honey bunching awesome, baby, we tight. Bloodline strong, spreading knowledge, taking flight. Scratch to win, don't talk, be about
Listen up, respect the hustle, respect the grind. Being Nate Dogg, putting in work intertwined. Keeping that legendary status alive, you feel? Don't hate on the ride, catch the bus, we keep it real. What's history without a future? We pay the way, Captain. We make it happen, that's the play.
So here's to the champions, run the race, stand tall. Twins, Mo and Mike, we gon' answer the call. Legends in the game, yeah, we holding it down. In the world of game dogs, we wearing the crown.
Run the register, I'm married, we got the elite. Made a buck Jeep, yellow Frisco, feel the beat. Females like honey bunching out, so maybe we tight. Bloodline strong, spreading knowledge, taking flight. Scratch to win, don't talk, be about it. We the real deal, you know it's true, no doubt about it.
Shout out to Ohio Cash, the man with the plan, Rastaman Boom, Schoolboy, aka the.
There's levels to this game. Develop your game. Develop your game. Develop your game. Develop your game. Rob, 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 rob.
Yes, sir. Hit that like button. You know what time it is. Yes, sir. Hit the damn like button. Shit. What up? What up? What's up? Big shout out to all my people out there in the Shark Tank. Big shout out to all my peeps on the back street. Y'all know what time it is. It's Talk That Shit Tuesday. Big shout out to.
Turn your mic down a little bit, Mike. Hey, don't keep putting the link up.
Okay, hold on. Big shout out to my man. Big shout out, Dana. What up? What up? Showing that love early, baby. Showing that love early. Big shout out to my main man, Carlos Lee in the house. What up, fam? Long time supporter, the one and only Mr. Dickie Foster in the house. What up, fam? Yo, what up, though? My man, Chico Nicholas in the house. What up, fam? Another long-time supporter, the one and only Mr. David Morris in the house. What up, fam? I see you. Big shout out to Dogman, Stoic Dogman in the house, showing that love. I see you, fam. Big shout out to Mr. Paul Johnson. What up, fam? Big shout out to Mr. William McNeil in the house. What up, fam? Yo, my man's in them. Will Turner in the house. What up, fam? The one and only bite down and shake that like button. My man, Double M Despo in the house. What up? Hey, I appreciate everybody for showing up tonight. You know, I didn't really have too much to really talk about. I'll tell you why. Because, you know, after you've done this a while, you think you've said everything, and then you stop back and you just reevaluate, like this channel. We sit back and we try not to do too much over and over. But then, I get to the point where I be, you know what, man? I don't know if y'all really know the seriousness and the heartache that come dealing with these dogs. I mean, you think YouTube is a motherfucker. You ought to, I mean, you being these dogs long enough, you'll see that's a trip in itself. Got their own stories. You got, you know, you got your thieves, you got your predators. I mean, they come in all shapes and sizes, man. And you want to always find yourself, I mean, because again, fellas, we talk about the American Pit Bull Terrier. Over here, you know, we talk about game dogs. Now, that's like I always tell you, that's a different kind of beast. You know what I'm saying? And it really do take some real dedicated people to get down and do that. You know, and I try to get into the minds of them dog men. And, you know, that last show about getting into the mind of them. You know, and I'm just surprised that there is a difference in age when we talk about these dogs. You know, sometimes I have to remind myself of my age because time goes by so fast. Y'all see, time does go by fast. And even though it seems like we've been out of dogs forever, it's like we never really got out of dogs. We just got out of doing what we was doing with the dogs. But the love and taking care of them and more fixing up people's dogs and saving them and helping guys with pedigrees and the whole medicine thing, he just never stopped that. You know what I'm saying? And maybe that's why it just stuck with us so long, because it was easy for me, you know, to just sit back and just keep my 1 or 2 pit bulls or bulldogs around. Because I'd already turned my son into a dog man. He ended up having that love and that passion, and that kind of took me out of the picture. Because you know, my son became, you know, Mo's son, pretty much. He wasn't, he was almost like dad, you know, because he don't never call dad for shit. It's always, Dad, where's Uncle Reese? I got a problem. But then I watched them grow up in these dogs, being around them. And I knew, you know, off the top that he was going to be a dog man. But living in a different era and watching your kids grow up and you're watching how they do dogs, remember, they deal with the dogs in a different time. And he never, you know, I don't really ever see a change. The dogs still be the same dogs. You still got to take care of them the same way. It's just where's the dedication at? You know, like I told my son, I was like, you know, you've been doing this for a lot of years. Why are you, you know, what are you trying to get out of these dogs? He never said I wanted to be like y'all. He said he wanted to be able to come back and give us dogs that he created. You know? And he worked hard to get that. I mean, he had some great bulldogs come through his hands, whether y'all know it or not. I mean, some great ones. He's responsible for a lot of the good ones that we still have to this day. But age-wise, his hunger for the box wasn't like ours. And maybe one of them reasons why is because I never took my kids around the box. Well, yeah, I did. I took my oldest niece, but she's the oldest out of all me and Mo's kids. So she was already, you know, up on the ladylike, and she know how to work her hand. But she's the only one that she is actually the only one that ever dealt with us in the box. She has the love and the passion because she grew up in it. You know, she was the older cousin, she's the older sister, and so she was more like the yard hand. Made sure everybody did what they were supposed to do with me, and Mo didn't have to worry about it.
Like her dad.
Yeah, like her dad. You know, she was like Mo 3.0 because she was responsible. You hear how many kids he got and the kids I got. And we had these kids like this over the summers. So it wasn't just sitting around playing video games and hanging out at the beach. You know, so these kids really did grow up taking care of dogs and understanding the responsibility of having a dog. Maybe that's why all of them got dogs to this day. You know, but it's even crazier because when I've had, you know, my kids call me because the dog that they had for 12, 13 years died. And they would swear them down. They would never have another one because it hurt them so bad. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I used to feel their pain.
Turn your mic down just a little bit.
Okay. I used to really feel their pain because I've had that feeling. But what I loved about it is for that moment when they felt like they couldn't do it again, they always did it again. Dad, I need a dog. Uncle Reese, I need a dog. Yeah, go talk to your cousin or go talk to your brother. They got some dogs down there. You know what I'm saying? So I see you old school. Old school said he had, I mean, old school, 6 of my 7 kids was raised in the box. You know what? Old school, I guess around that time period, we kind of like backed off, especially when we got here to Florida, because Florida here was a little bit different because they didn't really know anybody, you know. So growing up in Ohio and then with us moving here and shit, that every last one of them wound up coming here going to school for whatever reason. And it was just something that we never really got into trying to get them around the box situation. Only because, you know, new place, not knowing people, don't know who they talking to, you know, what they know, what they ain't around. I ain't got to worry about them talking. So, but generations of dealing with these dogs is like it's crazy when you got to look back on it. I'm pretty sure some of my old school guys, they know exactly where I'm coming from, because when we look back on that time, you can't help but, and you was really doing this shit. I mean, really doing it. You know, when you look back on that, it's kind of like, you know, you might even tell yourself, you know, I was crazy as hell back then. I was wild as hell. But then you never have nothing bad to say about the experience. See, I don't know what it would look like for the young people now, you know, the ones that came up through them 2000s. I'm gonna give them, say, the 2010s moving forward, because things definitely changed. You know, and society has a lot to do with that. You know, more video games, YouTube, TikTok. You know, the game now is being played on social media, which is, you know, it's entertaining, but it's, for me, you know, it's like, what do you go to YouTube for? Or Facebook, you know, to congregate, you know, to talk to your families. A lot of it's just so much the social media gives you, but it's not the same as, I mean, for me, it's like playing professional football, going to practice every day of the week, and then waiting for that Sunday night game. that you're playing in. For us, it was always Saturdays and Sundays. You know, most of the time, you know, we was looking forward to them Saturdays because Saturdays, you know, that's fight night. You know what I mean? You look forward to fight night. And then Sundays, sometimes, you know, them roll days, you know, everybody get together and you're checking out your prospects. And this was basically what tied up a lot of your time. And maybe that's why we were so dedicated to it, because of that time. Nowadays, the competition is not going to be as strong as it is overseas. It's not going to be as strong as it was through the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s due to the lack of competition. You know, and yeah, that really changes the type of dog that we're sitting here talking about. Because I'm always saying the game American Pit Bull Terrier, because I call them the game American Pit Bull Terrier simply because anytime that you had that purpose, that was their purpose. You know, their purpose was their game dogs, and these are basically fighting dogs. I know that sounds crazy, but every book that you pick up from Stratton, the Crenshaw, all of them, you know, all of them talk about fighting bulldogs. That's the time period, fellas. That's where the love of the game originally comes from. People who became dedicated and told the story. Some wrote about it. A lot of us lived it. But as far as the history goes, it's going to be what it is. But I can truly tell you, I know what it looks like to be my age now and then still know and understand the American Pit Bull Terrier and the people with the American Pit Bull Terrier. Regardless of what you do and how you're doing it, the responsibility of what you do is always going to fall on you, the person, because that's the dogs. They only make history based off of what you do with the dogs. That's how it was back in the day. Why would, you know, we don't talk about every dog, so that we all understand that there's certain type of dogs and certain type of people that have this certain knack about them, this certain greatness that lives down through time. But time also tends to forget about things, forget about people, forget about dogs. I mean, that's just time in general. Like, I hear a lot of everybody, you know, like that's like taking Michael Jordan, like he was all world. Yeah, he was all world, but so was Dr. J. So was Julius Erving, Iceman. So was Daryl Dawkins, Moses Malone. I mean, those are great ball players. Abdul-Jabbar. But then there's a whole generation that passes by, and you hear them pick it up from right there. And it's kind of like you forget about those old guys. But you notice some of them still living. And you still, you know, thank God for social media, because they're going to tell you how they, you know what? If you sit down and listen to some of their talk shows sound like our pit bull shows, you know. If you had to play back in our day, you wouldn't have been shit. You wouldn't have been able to handle it. You know, and that's in sports. You hear them talk about it. They say the same thing in boxing. I think Sugar Ray Leonard would have whooped the shit out of, damn it, Floyd. Because there was a lot of great boxers. You talk about Marvin Hagler, Tommy Hearns, Roberto Duran, Wilford Benitez. I mean, these are stone cold boxers, good, legendary boxers. But then you kind of forget about them as time moves on. And then if you notice, okay, that greatness level of competition has fallen off to where, we don't even have a love for boxing like we used to. We try to be boxing enthusiasts, but it's not the same. It used to be like that with all sports, but it's for a lot of us, as we got older, it's just not the same. I mean, basketball, shit. They used to, man, you see some of the elbows and snatching people out the air and all kind of craziness. But look at the competition. And that's the way I be feeling about the dog game. The competition is what made this game what it was. You take away the competition, and then you think about it and say, okay, everybody's selling dogs. And for some of us who have raised dogs for many, many, many years, we all agree that everything in the litter didn't work. Everything on the yard didn't work. But you made what you had, you made do with it, and you made it work for you. Yeah, we had our puppy peddlers back in the day, but you could count them all on one hand. And that's being honest with you too, because most of the time, everybody who was doing the breedings, they was using their shit. And you were blessed to have a litter-mate brother, the yellow. Like I think a lot of the dogs that we were from, like Bosco, Bruiser, Judo.
Mike, you need to put the link down there.
These were great dogs that, if it don't be for us growing up, we wouldn't have ever been able to appreciate the type of dogs that we actually had from these great dog men. So it's almost down to a time and a place. And when you fall into this game, that, set the standards for what the game looks like. See, I don't get on here to be talking about what the game looks like now, because as older people, we don't need, we live life. You know how you tell a person, as you grow up, they tell you like the OG, I guess.
Mike, you need to put the link down.
It is. Hold on. I'm finna set it out now. Right there.
Okay, somebody keeps pinging.
It's right there. How easy it is to get tied up and forget about the things that do matter when it come to these dogs. It's more, for me, it's more than just breeding them and then selling them. I think it's more to the game back then. So it's not putting any shame on what the game looks like now. I can only speak because in my time, there was a lot of people like us, a lot of people traveled, running each other, all kind of things. and we can only sit here and tell you the story. You can read about the story, but it's nothing like being a part of the story. And you never see what that's like until after you leave the game. A lot of the guys probably sit back and be tripping out when we be pulling up some of their dogs and shit. Some of the old schoolers be like, Twin, I remember that match. But there's only one reason we talk about that match out of all the many matches out there, because it was something great. It was something worthy of talking about. You know? My man Old School said the percentage is now 5% worthy in the U.S. area, LOL. And you're either fucking checking. Well, I'm trying to think about Old School. I don't know. I see them selling them and we talking about, game dog, and I still don't understand. A game dog is only a game dog when he shows it to you. There's, and just for conversation, has that changed? Because I wouldn't really know. When I hear game dog, I'm thinking game dog means the same thing it was, back in our time. Game dog, a dog game because you're going to see it. He's going to show you, something that you're going to be like, and be honest with y'all fellas, we've had some damn good game dogs that never made it to the box. Believe that. Some damn good ones that just never made it to the box. And not due to nothing but a decision made by, KP and Mo. Because in their minds, gameness is not what they were looking for. Killers. And I guess you can be caught up in looking for killers. That's why it was such a shock for me to see, in our career, I got a chance to see a game dog that came off our yard that did 3 hours and 17 minutes. And not only was he a game ass dog, he was a very well-conditioned dog. So out of our whole entire career, why does that stand out? Because that's the first time I really got a chance to see, Mo's conditioning show up. Like it had to be there. It was needed. It's not like he did anything different. He just actually did the same thing he always does. But that was the first time I got a chance to really see it in action. And then seen plenty of game dogs, especially on our yard. Because it took a lot for a game dog to make it back to the chain on our yard, just to make it back to the chain. You heard Mo tell you, when they go down, is when the game test begins. You're fighting for a chain spot. And our up-and-comers had to deal with our grown dogs. It wasn't about trying to beat them. It's all about the schooling process. When you got a good schooling program, it all works out. I want to give a big shout out to my big brother in the house, Triple M. What up, fam?
What's up, man?
Ain't nothing, man. Mo told me that you was going to show up. And I was telling Mo, okay, I was going to put it on there. I said, I'm going to just wait till the show. I can fix that in the end. I'll put him on there because, big brother show up. He going to want his name up there. So I'll wait till afterwards, see if he show up. Bruh.
Yeah.
How you been doing, bro?
I'm doing pretty good, man.
Okay.
I'm finna condition myself.
Oh, you finna put yourself in shape, man? What you saying?
Yeah.
Hey, let me ask you something. First of all, okay, you was raised around these dogs, okay? At what, when you were doing, watching your grandfather and your dad, and when it came your turn, did you really get away from anything that you had already learned?
No,
Or
well,
did you perfect it?
really, me and my dad and stuff, we kind of started out dealing with it at the same time. But what we didn't know, it finally hit us that one of my cousins, that I had a set of cousins that moved to California, I would say in the late 50s, early 60s. And they came back. And what we found out when we started tinkering with this thing, when we started, my dad and I, it was about the same time, I got to talking about this and that, and we just got to, then the guy brought it to us. One of the older guys, Philip Bryant, that had been in the game since the 70s, came to us, said, I'm going to take y'all somewhere. And he took us over to our cousin, my Uncle Melvin's house. Come to find out that Melvin was one of the guys that got some of these black guys started in the Bulldogs in the early 70s. Because when he came back from California, he had been in the game out there in the 60s and the 70s and stuff. So sometime in the 70s, when he came back here and brought it to us, Philip took us over there. He said, man, your family been in this game longer than you think when he took us over there. Well, you know how some things were just private and some family, people just didn't talk about certain things. So that was just something that he was in a clique with, and he didn't talk about this and that because his name was Reverend Kitchen.
Not the Rev.
Yeah. So, but when he came back here and we went over there, so Brian was like, boy, your family been in this game a long time. This is just something that we just, this is just something that wasn't everybody was supposed to know. And we sat there and we talked for hours and then talked everything after that. He had some old dogs went out there that was, when I saw the paperwork on them, my mouth just fell open. The dogs that he had, and it had old dog named Rodan, he brought back here was full of old Wallace breed, top and bottom. And he came here and found the guy and got with a lady that was breeding some dogs. He just wanted, at that time, his mind just wanted a nice, decent bred, big bitch. And he bred to the bitch. And that's what got Philip in that line of dogs started. But at the very, very bottom of the dog was a steak. And they were very muscular. You can imagine how they look. They look good. And that might have been the only flaw in those dogs. But they didn't show everybody the paperwork, really, except for some of his people that he was dealing with. And but we found that out, and then we had kind of, and what he had gave us then, he had gave us a male, a buckskin male, and he was he had some Mayfield breeding in him and stuff, the stuff that he had started playing with, and it's kind of outcross. But he was a young dog that he had a lot of problems. Just like humans have problems, man. He, kidney problems and this happened, that happened. We never got a chance. He's pretty good. We never got a chance to breed him. Then after that, this happened, a few things happened. And he wasn't really in the game anymore. He just had one or two. He had got Bryant started, Phil Bryant started years ago, and they had, their little line of dogs. We didn't really grab it because they were slow. They were tough and slow, things of that nature. And then Bobby Banks came to us. When he came to us, he had got those dogs from John Toubre. And we just kind of sit back and waited on that and started dealing with that, and was breeding that, and the base of our yard was good, but then we had a couple of other dogs out the stuff. Didn't know what we was doing. Had pretty much brood stock. We needed to deal with it as brood stock, and instead of trying to make something else out of it, one of the guys pulled us, to the side and talked to us. There was a guy here that used to hang with Chicken Sam out of Texas, and he hung out with Bobby Hall a lot. He had dogs directly from Plummer, so he said, "Don't make the mistake I made." He kind of talked to us and told us how to breed these dogs, and gave us a guideline. But yeah, that's kind of how that went with us. And then, but when we got into it, we got real heavy into it, And one of the guys was like, "Man, y'all need to breed to this dog." We was looking at the journal, and it was Jeep. He said, "Man, this is a dog y'all need to breed to. Ain't nobody around here doing nothing like this, man. They scared to go outside this box." We went outside that box and went up there and talked and got a chance to meet him and talk to him, and came back and took some of that cold inbred stuff we had, doubled up off the Mayfield nigger stuff and all that and stuff. Like I told you once before, later on in the 90s, this is after my father had died and everything, I finally talked with Don Mayfield. Somebody sent me a message. Might have been the wall boy. Man, Don Mayfield said, "If you call him, here's his number." And I called him. And Don Mayfield told me, he said, "Man, these guys mad at me." He said, "Cause they saying that I done gave you some stuff. They saying I done gave you some stuff, and y'all done mixed it up and can't nobody whoop you and stuff." And they was mad at him. And Don Mayfield said, he was telling me, "Say, but I don't know these guys." He said, I don't know them." He said, "But they your dogs." He said, "Yeah, they my dogs through John Tubry." Because I told you the story, Don Tubry was over there when Mayfield Sunshine and Mayfield Best was bred, because he helped them with the breed. So he went back, counted, and went back and got them when they was like 3 weeks old. And he pulled off the mom and put in his pocket. We got some bottles and stuff and took Texas Bell home and started his yard. But yeah, he gave me a talk like that. He said he caught hell from people calling him and getting on him, "And you done gave these niggas some stuff that you wouldn't give nobody else, and now they whooping everybody." And that's how he told it to me.
We had one of the same type of stores in Carolina too, though. But hey, let me ask you now. When you said Plumber, is that the plumber that owned Alligator?
To the other guy that had some dogs.
Yeah, well, you said something about Plumber, and my man, old school, he wanted to know which plumber. I didn't know it was a couple plumbers, but which one?
Well, the one that had the alligator stuff.
Okay. I didn't know if there was any other one that was well known as he was. But that's why I asked. Yeah. But when y'all finally did change up, now when things really started popping for y'all, how long had you been in the dogs at that time?
Well, it been in the dogs long, man. I was playing. I had kind of got into it in high school by last year in high school, and I was in college. Getting in college, I said, my second year in college. So that's when my daddy bought Donna, was in 1982, July, on my birthday. We had been started going around and looking, and just we was getting invited to stuff and looking at stuff. Bobby Banks was in it real heavy. He was already going to Louisiana and doing stuff with people down there, and we were kind of tagging along and watching stuff, away from the local stuff. He was local, but he was pretty sharp. He wasn't local, and he had some good knowledge, real good knowledge. And we was tagging along with him and doing stuff, and especially when he got the dog from John Tubry, and then we got the dog from John Tubry, then that's when we really got to tag along, because John told these guys up here one time, he said, "Y'all don't know what a bad dog is," when it came up here when Bobby had gotten the dog from him. But But we really started seeing some things then when he started inviting us to just private stuff. Sam Curry and them, and Duhan, and met Drew Fall, Troubadour. I got to meeting all of those guys all the time. We was going down there and got to meeting them and talking to them. You know, you know, got a chance to see a lot of stuff go. I got to see those dogs go off of Champion Pistol Pete and Timex and some of that old stuff that they had down there. The Curry boys were doing pretty good. It was a lady named Jean Carpenter, I think, Pat Carpenter, Jean Carpenter. She had formed a Louisiana. She had formed she had formed a pit bull club down there, and she had some real nice stuff going. They had a lot of good confirmation shows. And they were doing stuff like that and trophies and stuff. She really had a real positive thing going. And we was kind of all involved in that because once we started breeding, well, it took us, we kept everything. Kept this litter, and we kept that litter, started breeding, we kept everything, and we just, my dad and my uncle just spent a lot of money for about 2 years until about to about 85 when I came home, and 84, I guess, in that time when Battle Cat and some of them was born in the middle 80s, and later on, it was 2 years or so before they were just spending money, but then it all came around and it all came in. Then once it hit, it was man, it was like throwing some gas on the fire. The local people never seen nothing like it, but there was guys here that was already in their own little cliques and stuff out there. You had the Jerry Beans, Russian Bill, and Crab Apple, and certain guys that Mr. Wallace was messing with already that was around here and stuff, and different people like that. That all of a sudden, we got to meet all those people and started branching out. But it really took off when we got the dogs, and John Truby started dealing with us and inviting us to stuff like that. And like I said, and then you got to meeting Troubadour, and you got to meeting all those people like that. Then it kind of really took off. When you got a chance to see stuff and see those people, Duhan, when you got a chance to be around people like that, and regularly.
You started knowing what a real bulldog looked like, huh?
That's right. That's
Yeah,
right. Oh, when you start seeing dogs that was off of Pistol Pete, Pool Hall Red, and stuff like that, that's a big difference than what stuff you were seeing with a few people when you saw local stuff. It was a big difference. But you knew right then that that's the game you want to be in right there.
So, what made you lock in? I mean, because y'all been pretty consistent with y'all breeding programs back in the day, and was able to maintain it for years. Was that due to what you learned in the beginning and trial and error?
Yeah, my whole thing was I like breeding. You know what I'm saying? It was about breeding, and then once you met a person like Mr. Wallace, and you start talking to him, and he start telling you all stuff, man. Like I said, I wish I had a thing of tapes set up where I taped it, and he started explaining stuff to you, and you want to become that breeder, and go from there. That's when you made that mark. You know, when you tell somebody and they talking, and you go to somebody's yard that's got all this going, and and they still talking about they might have one or two that's this or that. But I didn't understand that when we looked around and had 10 or 15 for years. You know, like I said, we didn't even breed. We didn't even breed Smiley 3-4 years of his lifespan. We didn't even breed Mongoose. Another dog out of G. We bred Beauty 3 times, which that was to all 3 of her brothers. Didn't even. I probably can count on one hand, half of one hand, the times that I bred Mongoose that was out of Jeep and out, man, my nigga dog. You know.
Well, you never took on the role as a breeder anyway, though, right?
You know, we didn't, you know, you look at some of these dogs, you know, and these dogs been bred umpteen times. You take Weirdo, man, you probably can't count the times he been bred these other dogs we bred. We didn't, you know, man, what would have been like, man, if I could have kept breeding Smile and had another yard somewhere, breeding Mongoose and had another yard somewhere, things like that. It would been outrageous. Now it kind of got like that after my dad died. You know, Wall Boys came alive. Pole Man came alive. Uh, uh, Dirty Ken, Mike, you know, up there in Cleveland, he came. You know what I'm saying? At the end, and there was 3 different spots where finally had dogs.
Down and dirty.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, was you around when Pit General was around?
I didn't see that dog. But yeah, I heard of it. I never did see him.
Okay. So what do you think about what you heard? Mo, you knew about Pit General, right?
Yeah, I heard about him.
Yeah. Somebody asked, was he a good dog? They wanted to know something about him. I know I never seen him, so I wouldn't. Big shout out to TDK Slim. What up, fam? No inputs.
No, I never.
Okay.
But you know when it was like, but my whole family was tied up into it. You know, my family was a family when they got tied up in something, it was the whole family. Through my dad, mom, my mouth Kennels can tell you, you know, they when they used to come down here and visit, he used to get a kick out of seeing my grandmama run out the house with her bulldog and her boots on, and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And her breaking stick in her back pocket. And newspaper rolled up in some rubber band in the other hand. And this big dog she had in there was afraid to death of that newspaper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's see if I have some more stuff to do. Okay. Well, Alligator Jeep. Okay. You watched their work for years. Okay. What happened to the alligator shit? Outside of y'all, who else was able to maintain, that consistency?
Well, in 82, 83, when I was playing football, John Tooby called me and told me we had the last of his stuff. Which most people had, but he told me, he said, man, breeder type this and that. I'm fixing to move. I'm out of the game. He said, take care of them dogs, keep that line going. And he left Louisiana and he moved away from Louisiana. He moved up north somewhere. And I never did really. I heard from him once, but I never did hear from him but a couple more times. Uh, the Sam and Tommy Curry, they had it real tough. They loved it, but they, of course, they were down, so they always put a lot of carver with it. R.A. Fall and his brother uh, had a dog directly from Hammond's off his original stuff, and they were breeding to some of that old carver stuff. They were pretty cool with Duhan. So they had some dogs off of Duhan stuff, and that they was crossing. And I think they went on a spree, just whooping folks for like a couple of years with that stuff. But they were really chicken guy at heart. So for as breeding and keeping the line, that wasn't really in their thing when it came to that. They were real big chicken.
Now, when you're trying to maintain, you're trying to maintain a bloodline, what goes in? I mean, I'm just asking you because you've been able to do it for your history speaks for itself. But what's the mind frame going in when you start the inbreeding process and knowing when to bring a cross in? I mean, what's the mindset when you guys decided to bring that out in after some years of tight breeding?
I did. When we first was kind of brought into it, when I bred Donna back to her nephew, which was the Diamond 2 dog, Banks Diamond 2 dog. That's how it's in the thing, and then that preserved that, and then when we brought the cross in, we just took the cross back and forth. Like when I got the dog out of Beauty, when I got Beauty out of Jeep and my nigga dog Donald, then we bred her to each one of her brothers. We bred her to a Little Mate brother. We bred her to Smiley. We bred her to Rock, which was the pure Alligator side. So once we made all those breeds, we just kept it going back and forth, back and forth. The pole man had some. A guy named Ron that was up there in Illinois had some. He was one introduced me to pole man, but it's just it went like that. When I went to Gary probably had 50 dogs up there, and he had bred Jeep to some of everything. And then he was taking him back, to the daughters out of that stuff, different stuff. But one thing about it, I never forget, he said he hadn't bred to no Mayfield nigga dog. Out of all of that, now he had not made that breed. But he had some of everything else. Klaus blood, this carp, all kind of stuff. Then he had Jeep Super Cake, and he had made that breed a few times. But I never did hear a lot about. Every now and then you would see a dog that was out of Jeep and K. But I remember Crenshaw telling me, he said, "Man, you gotta watch it. When you get to breeding these dogs right that are right here too tight, they'll start quitting on you." But he said that Tudor stuff you got that you putting into it with that old Dabo stuff and stuff that John Tree stuff. He say, seem like that's even when you got 8th up in it, he said it seemed like it's got enough in there, it's keeping it going. That's what he told me.
Well, I guess you had to be kind of careful because just based on what you're saying, you did a lot of line breeding and very little inbreeding. What determined the difference? The dog?
Yeah, I mean, then we had the Red Boy dog. I bought Bully Girl 82, 83. The dude told me to go find one of those to put, and that mainly was what I was breeding with the nigger stuff. That was that cross. That it made that cross that was just as bad or worse as the nigger Jeep cross. Then I took Mungus, which was the Jeep and Alligator, and bred him to the Red Boy stuff. Then I went back and forth that way. But you know, at that time, we had so many animals, man. You could, I, I mean, we wasn't selling any, and uh, even though it was the way it was, I mean, here's a guy over here that'll go buy a dog from this man that's scared to go into us, and we couldn't never figure that out. But you know, it's just the way things were, uh, you know, at the time. You know, we tried to make deals with people. I mean, I never will forget a hundred times we tried to make a deal with Buffalo Soldier. You know, great deals because he's a good dog, man. He's an A1 condition too. I tell anybody. And but he just didn't want to cross that deal. Uh, Russian Bill was, you know, kind of had it. He probably the only one that came close to wanting to do it. You know, but you know, we sold him Triple R Rock, and you know, he went on and you know did his thing. He was always doing his thing. He was a real good guy to us. You know, told us a lot of stuff. Learned a lot of stuff from him because he had been in the game a long time.
Now, a lot of these guys that you mentioned, how much were they doing dogs?
Every one of them was doing dogs.
I mean, to the degree of.
Every one of them was legendary names, money. Every one of them, Russian Bill.
Well, they didn't do. I mean, they didn't have the stuff to do like we was doing. I mean, you talking about two young dogs producing a litter and producing the same thing out of every litter. I mean, if you read the article that Russian Bill wrote in his magazine, when my daddy died, he had the picture of my dad and Bob Wallace on the front of it and everything. You read that article, you know, he'll say, because he was there, he'll say, you know, this reunion produced good dogs every time. You know, and that wasn't even, you know, and then you had the dogs out of Beauty. Then you had the dogs out of Mongoose. Then you know what I'm saying? You know, then we, you know, crossed it back to some more stuff where Rand did and hit that. And then I bred some stuff across to PKS Red to what was his name? Daryl up there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I made a breeding with Smiley across with some pure creed stuff. That was awesome. You know what I'm saying? And then he had the pure, you know, his stuff was he had the red boy dog, one of the last red boy dogs from Mr. Bass. They called PKS Red. And he had a real Hemphill dog from the old Hemphill family. Man, they was outstanding. And I had one of those. Then I bred that to the pure nigger dog. Then I bred that to one of Smiley's sons. And it just kept on going.
Hey, hold on real quick. Let me deal with something right quick. Stoic Dog Man. You know, man, you pretty cool. But look here, this is what I'm doing for you today. I know just to keep your fingers from hurting. Because one thing, I'm giving you a chance. I see that link I just threw down there. I want you to come up here and first, you know, and I want you to show everybody that you can be on the level of Triple M. And this is your opportunity, friend. Because if you find like this man here got a lie, and I know him, and I know a lot of his dogs and champions, you know, but I want to know who you are. Because I would think that you would be the first one to stop typing and jump on there and hit that link and come up here and tell us about the two Plummer alligator dogs, because I didn't know what one Plummer's alligator. So, but I'm not into it like they've been into it.
Yeah.
So if it was another one out there, you come up here and you tell us about that other one so we can dive in there and see what makes the difference between the two dogs. Because I can guarantee you this man he knows how his breeding is. Maybe you need to help introduce us into what the other breeding look like, because I just read your comment. You said there was two alligators and two Plumbers. So did they do the same thing, or were they doing something different?
Yeah, I need to know too, cause I mean the stuff I got come from John Tubry and he took Texas Bell and bred Texas Bell to Dagger, and that's what started his yard.
Okay. Well, no, I'm still dealing with this stoic dog man thing because again, the link is down there, fam, and I'm actually trying to give you a chance to come up there because one thing I do not like when you talk shit in here in that Shark Tank, you become chum to me, and I give you every opportunity to stop typing and start talking, and let's dive in and see who's doing the talking. I really want to know.
Don't tell me we got one in the corner.
Well,
the scratch corner.
All I need you to do is climb over the damn wall, hit that link, and come up in here and entertain everybody. Because right now you're the one that's just doing the talking. I'm giving you a platform to do. Stop typing and let's start talking. We got everything you need. We have access to computers. We can pull up numbers. We can pull up names. Anything that you want to help get your point across, because at this point in time, I really want to know who the hell you are that you can put this man down when I already know I could do a whole show on his shit. I just want to see where you at.
In the books. Grand champions and champions.
Grand champions and champions. Now, I want to see where you at. I don't mean to do you like that, but when you talk about my guest, and I know who my guest is tonight, and you feel like you're bigger and better than that, bro, you really need to hit that link. Because, you know,
Don't be no color in here.
I don't play that. I say your name, and I make it clear that everybody to know exactly who I'm talking to. Because if you can't get up here and you can show your point, then that gives me every reason why, you know what? And when you can beat this, you ain't bulldogging if you can't do that. I get rid of people like that. And you've been around a while, but I don't want to get rid of your ass before I give you the opportunity to get up here and show everybody who you are. You know we play in the past. If you was back there and you know as much as you know, you should have no problem getting up in here speaking what's on your mind. Because that typing shit, no, I need to hear some shit. Because now that I hear some shit, I want to see some shit. Like if you're willing to do that,
hit that link.
Hit that link. Not willing to do that,
you're gonna be a cut the rest of the night.
Well, no, it's gonna be worse than that.
Oh yeah.
Because I try to give everybody respect, but when you don't have no respect for other people and you think you want to put somebody on a higher scale, that's you in the right place because you have the opportunity to speak on any and everything that you're saying. Because you know around here we deal with receipts.
We do
that
have
talking shit. That talking shit, it don't work here. You just down there typing, but come up and introduce yourself to everybody.
The count is on. Paul Johnson's got the count on. He ain't making the count. He ain't making the count.
Don't stop typing just yet. Because I need you to come on and hit that link right quick. And trust me, we don't be cussing nobody out. I'm not putting you down. I'm actually, as a dog man, giving you an opportunity, being I'm watching what you're doing. I'm giving you a platform to speak your mind.
Don't be no color.
When you come up here, you better show.
Don't be no fake. Don't be no beeline.
Take advantage of the opportunity I'm giving you to come up here and show me how you better than this man. I mean, can you even come up with anything that you can just show us that you can come anywhere close to what this man has done? Anything close? Because anything other than that, I don't have no more respect for you, bro. And there's a whole lot of other channels that shit might work on, but not here. And you should know better. Now, after the night, you might be able to go and talk shit and everybody else's shit, but that's one thing I don't ever have to worry about moving forward, is watching it happen over here. Okay?
The count is on. The clock is on.
Here, I'm gonna put this link down there because I don't want it to run off nowhere. So I just want to make it clear, fellas. Around here, y'all know how we play. If you're going to talk that shit, you better be about that shit. Because my next move, I don't even have to worry about it. But yeah, y'all go ahead, man, because I just wanted to get that out the way. Because I really want to know when you're in there talking like that, it's the difference between agree to disagree. Nah. Don't have nothing about agreeing. I was reading the comments.
You sound like a fake.
No, this sounds like somebody just talking.
You better hit that link.
Well,
you sound like
my man. Big shout out to my man, Vance 305 in the house. What up, fam? I'm gonna go back and catch these names too. He said, "Well, bro, sound like you curried him out. Must have a history or just enjoy the show." I mean, I feel like he would have been better off enjoying the show because he says some things and I let it go. But then when you start talking about this man here, and I know, hold on. I don't know if y'all reading the comments, and I try not to go back and get him. But anybody that's been sitting here just reading his comments, you would think he would have been jumping on that link.
Right. You in this room with a bunch of real dog men now. Now you got around a bunch of
now you're in here.
You be running.
Now all the typing done stop.
Right.
Link's still sitting down there because you don't want to put yourself in a situation to be, you're sitting up here talking about somebody, but you don't want to put yourself in a situation, stand behind what you're saying. And
yeah, I'm calling you okay. What? Who's that? Triple Dog. You don't like what I'm saying? Pop your ass up here. You shut up and get out of here then. You in my house.
Hold on, Mo.
You in my house. You the one sound like a little bitch.
Look, Triple Dog OG. Look here, man.
You ain't popped that link yet.
There's a link down there, right? And here's the thing. I don't get into going back and forth because
you gotta get the fuck out of this damn
all you gotta do, bro, is hit the link.
Cur.
And
I called you a cur.
Come on, Mo.
Because you're a cur. You ain't hit that damn link. Talking all that shit, now you want to still be typing. Cur ass boy.
See,
get out of here.
I just gave him his hardware. And now I'm gonna have to take it, but no, I'm gonna give him a chance because that's the thing I'll be wanting on.
Because
you can talk that shit, you should be able to jump up here. As a grown ass man, I would never sit down and talk no shit and not be able to stand behind when I'm talking.
I'm standing behind what I'm saying to his ass.
I don't give a fuck if y'all like what I'm saying or not. That's not the point. I want to make sure that whatever you got on your mind.
Go whine in somebody else's room and talk about how Twin dogged your ass and made you look like a car.
That little statement right there, his work is erased. What work? Twins seem like now ESP, I guess that's ESPN, the ones screaming fake like a fucking loser. Bruh. In this dog game, losing wasn't something that we was used to doing. Losing in life is something I was never used to doing.
You've been in willing to jump up here and that shit, bro.
No, hold on, Mo. I'm giving you the same thing I gave Stoic. I'm giving you the opportunity to hit that link, right? And get up here and talk about, let me see who I'm talking to.
Right.
Tell me. Show me who I'm talking to. I'm not going to go out of, I don't get out of bounds. Because over here, we talk about dogs. What you think, take advantage of that link and come up here and let's address how you thinking. Because anything other than that, bruh, you're just in the wrong place. Yep. So I will put you on blast over here. And I will put you out in front of my audience, and you get a chance to show everybody who you are. Because if you can't take care of that, I don't deal with curs. I'm calling the yard. I'm calling the damn Shark Tank. I around here, I don't have a problem. But I don't deal with disrespect. You know, everybody around here could carry hardware. Everybody. You can say what you want, how you want to say it. Just don't be disrespectful. That's been my motto from day one. There's chum in the water. I don't mind feeding the sharks. I don't mind giving you the opportunity and the platform to say whatever you have on your mind, whatever you want to get off your chest. Just be respectful about it and come with receipts. That's it. And I don't see nobody hitting the link. So, while I'm waiting on these two guys to hit the link, let me get back up here and give my shout outs to my certain people out here. I see Horsepower. What up, fam? I see him.
What up, man?
Maddie Montana. What up, fam? Talking to City Kennels in the house. Representing. What up, fam? Mr. Nicholas. What up, fam? Mr. Nicholas said, now I understand why Russian Bill's Grand Champion Mongoose bottom side sassy is an Alligator Jeep Cross. But Triple M, y'all been doing that. You and Mama have been doing that for quite some time, though. Let me see.
I said the same thing up there. I'm still waiting on that link, man. Let me make sure nobody.
Hey, big bro.
Yeah.
Triple M, you there?
Yeah.
Hey, my man said, how old were your Jeep and Alligator dogs when you cranked them on? Were they slow starters? Tell me about them. Basically, what are you trying to ask?
Yeah, they were they were slow. Some of them was and some of them was, just depend. But those inbred Tudor dogs, now what we got from John Truby, my Donald dog, she was already what she was supposed to be. I bought her, my daddy bought her grown. But when we started inbreeding, yeah, they were slow. But when the cross was made, but when that cross was made, they was they was that little man that you had to get out of there early. Whenever you crossed it out, but when I inbred, yeah, once in a while one of those Jeep nigger dogs might come slow, but that was very rare. Every now and then it was like that. The nigger Jeep dogs were fast. The nigger red boy dogs were fast. And so you have to understand too. So when I bred the nigger red boy stuff, that was two cold dogs. Rock was cold, and if you pull up triple R Rock pedigree, I don't know if you pull it up if it come up the one that we sold Russian Bill when we making those litters. But yeah, those were two cold dogs. Nothing behind them was cold, but they themselves was two cold dogs. Bullet Girl was a cold dog. Rock was a cold dog.
Let me see here. Now, now I'm trying to understand the cold part when you say the cold dogs, but you still bred them. Is it because of? I mean, like how were the litter mates? First of all.
Well, when I made the breed with Donna back to her nephew, which produced K-Nam and those dogs that was producing that whole litter was cold.
The whole litter?
No, it wasn't. Rock litter. We had a little mate brother, Rock. He ended up with that blood disease those dogs had. He wasn't cold. It was two in there that wasn't cold. It was one male and one female in there that was not cold.
Big shout out to my man Eric. I see you, fam. Hey Mo, you think you can pull up that pedigree? I'd like to see it.
Yeah, I was trying to download this thing you just sent me. Hold
Okay.
on. I'll be right with you.
Now you a believer, like when you be dealing with them, do you ever run across some of your breedings and be like, okay, that's a throwback? When you can just tell that something, when you do it as much as y'all have, when you notice there's a throwback, something that went way back there and got it. You ever find yourself in a situation to where you felt like, yeah, that's a throwback? You there, Em?
Yeah, I was looking for something. I was looking for something.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, now you take the Mungus dog. He was you got a picture of him. He was a red post dog. And every time we bred him, man, he throw white, red. And Gary said he had to have those old genes.
Okay. So, but it was a throwback to something that was back there, right?
Oh yeah, man. He threw dogs, bird dogs, all of that stuff.
That didn't make you nervous, man, seeing that type of shit?
No, I mean, because the blood was there now.
Okay.
I mean, we tripped off of it and we talked to Garrett about it, and he just said, "Hey, man, he got some old genes." Yeah.
Big shout out to my man Cool Bean, Motor City Bart. What up, fam? Matty Montana. What up, fam? Big shout out to my main man, Mr. Hemi James in the house. What up, fam? Pit Dog. I seen you, man. I see you, fam. I just wanted to get that in there. My man Hemi said, I think a cold dog is more a form of retardation.
Yeah.
I mean, that seems like that works though. Because sometimes you can't explain it. I had one, dang. His name was Buddy. Buddy would fight all day, but he wouldn't scratch. Like that to me was a form. Buddy, he would fight all day.
Man, we put him on that gay dog over there.
Yeah.
When did he not scratch?
I didn't know. I don't remember him scratch. I mean, I seen him busting that dog's ass, but I remember he would not leave the corner.
That is not true.
I don't remember him leaving the corner then. Because I remember that day. But it was something about Buddy. I was like, no, he over here smashing, but he wouldn't come out. That's what I remember about that.
Well, that's why you never see me with none of Buddy's shit on my yard.
No. Remember, I had Piper. Now, Piper was just the opposite.
And again, you never see me with none of that on my yard.
Well,
if he wasn't scratching, and wasn't nothing on my yard.
Well, I'm talking about the dog that was on my yard.
Right, that's what I said. That's why he was never on my yard.
Well, again, I'm talking about tell them how Buddy was bred, being that you bred him.
Right, he came up with Twisted.
And who?
I mean, I had a little mate's sister, the one that came up with the X-Men.
Exactly. I had Piper. That was his daughter.
Right, and you notice I didn't keep none of them.
No.
That's all I'm saying.
No, what you were saying, I'm dealing with because you said, and I said, he was a dog. It was like retarded because he wouldn't do. He was a good dog, but he just wouldn't do the thing that I thought that, you know, coming out of Twisted, he didn't have that in him. But Piper, his daughter, did. And then you had the sister over there. She turned out to be a good damn dog. That's the retardation part that I was talking about. I was addressing as far as Hemi was. It had nothing to do with what you had on the yard. It was what I had on the yard.
Right.
And what I thought would fit that retardation because he was the damn dog lived on my yard till he was 17 years old. Shit, what you saying?
Me and your yard was two different things. Then you
damn right. I ain't never made that a secret either.
Okay.
But that's the retardation shit I be talking about. It fits. I never looked at it that way, but it fits. Because what other way could you explain it?
Dog had a scratch on my yard. Bottom line. But they was always good dogs. You never really did what I did with my dogs.
Remember, Red Man, a lot of them dogs. You remember what my yard was used for?
Nope. They were just, remember, I give you dogs you could keep and you kept them forever. I didn't ever breed to none of them dogs.
Okay, Roger Ramjet.
Roger Ramjet, he went to Ohio. He was just there for a place till I got a place to put him.
Yeah, but he wound up on my yard.
Yeah, he ended up in Ohio too, didn't he?
Well, he was Ohio first.
No, he didn't.
Well, he might have went to Ohio, but I know he came back to the yard because when he
came back to the yard,
you took him back off my yard. When he left my yard, he went from my yard straight to the box.
Exactly. Because when he came back from Ohio, I sent him away as a cold dog, and they sent him back as an on dog.
Okay, but he didn't go back to your yard. He went to my yard. Who's this right here? Anthropology said, please ask Mr. Mason what he thought about the Smiley Hoffman cross.
The Smiley Hoffman cross, right, was a good cross. We bred to Doc. We went up there. Went up there and visit, and she was in heat. He said, "Man, load her up and take her down there to that dog, breed to that Smiley dog." So okay, said my dad said, "Tell you what, man, you get your litter off of her, and then we'll get us a litter off of her." So I think she had 4 dogs. She had 2 males, 2 females. One was named Hillbilly and something else. They all were good. Then when it came down for us to get he got his litter. And so, you know, we try people out sometimes. And so he had a rascal dog. You know, he was breeding up that Pedro stuff. We was gonna breed that, but I bred, but we didn't get the puppies out of her. I brought her here. I don't know whatever happened. But anyway, at that time, I said, "Hey man, I got a dog up here. We got so many of these other dogs. I have not had a chance to breed him. Probably had bred Mungus a couple of times. So I took Mungus up there. I said, man, breed him. Now Mungus was off a Jeep and dumb. And we went up there. Now I already know that he throw wild colored dogs. I seen Hoffman stuff. He threw. I knew what he would throw because of those genes. And I went up there and left him up there a couple of months. And when I went up there, man, he told me he hadn't bred the dog. Now, if I put a dog on your yard that's out of Jeep, and I say, man, breed this, all I want is a pair. here and there. I don't even want to. We got too many already. I want to get maybe a male and female out this litter, male and female out there litter. You can keep whatever else, I just want to see what you gonna do with them. Now I put a dog on your yard that bred like that, and then after leaving there for some months, you go tell me you didn't breed. So we never did. I never did get my litter. My dad passed away. I never did get my litter out of for what happened. I never did get my litter out of Dolly. And I said, well, man, give me a male and female lighter since you got 2 and 2. Then he told me that he had to put the females down. Then up there to a little thing one time, me and Po Man. Then he forgot me. Then he showed me. He re-showed me the dogs that was off of Dolly and Smiley. I said, I thought you said your vet had to put them down because they had certain ailments. So that's but later on, I think the hillbilly dog came up stolen, and it didn't work. You know what I'm saying? It didn't. He had bad luck after that. Put it like that. Yeah. So that's what happened to that. And I think when he got out the game for a while, I think a guy down in Mississippi ended up with a bunch of this because he got in a little trouble. Some guys in Mississippi ended up with the dog. Instead of him coming back and say, hey, man, I didn't do you right. Come on up and get some of these dogs out this stuff out of bread, get what you want. I got to go do this and that. That's how that went with Hoffman. But he had some good dogs. They did produce some good dogs with that stuff. Put it like this: when we bred Smiley to him, he sold a whole lot of dogs. You hear me, twin?
Yes, sir. I heard you.
Yeah,
I heard you. Mo, he having technical problems over there. I was just dealing with that, talking him through how to get back in. I appreciate that, Mr. Will Turner. He said, disrespecting someone like Triple M, there was nothing said that even sounded remotely untruthful. Apologize to Triple M from the other members. A true OG like Triple M guys should be ashamed to say the least. Now, I would think that a person who would disrespect somebody to that degree, saying the shit that he's saying, that he would come up in here and he'd be the next best thing moving, the STP and Super Kennels. That's why I try to give the platform to where get it off your chest. Let's see who we talking to. And I hate to see when they don't have nothing to say and they run away. That's something that irritates me. One of the reasons is because when you bulldogging, I'm telling you fellas, this podcast shit don't make me. At 65 years old, I still feel like that I can still be the same person I have been my whole entire life. So when I be thinking, when we bulldogging, I'm bulldogging. Not just here, but, even when we was bulldogging, we was truly bulldogging. In life, I'm a bulldog. I think like a bulldog. Sometimes you got to, be brought down, where reality got to sit in and remind your ass just how old you are. But shit, my mind ain't nothing wrong with my mind. As long as my mind tell me that I can go, I'm going. And I think that was the majority of the bulldog man that I knew. First of all, you had to have, some type of, cojones to even be doing this shit. Yeah, we had some good, but the majority, we had a lot of good, but then we had some bad apples out there. But come on. The thing about the bad apples, it wasn't hard to pick them out. Remember, a couple bad apples will rule a whole bushel of apples. Just one. That everybody fucked up. But yeah, I just feel like, and that's not taking nothing away from anybody. Look, one thing that I know about these bulldogs and being around people with bulldogs, we all can agree to disagree. But then that's what made the damn game what it was, because we knew that all you had to do was just go get one. You can borrow it from somebody. You can just tell me what you got, and I will accommodate you. And then we're going to let the truth be told. I wasn't just the only one thought like that. Everybody thought like that. That's what I call bulldog. I don't know what, that terminology, if it changed over the years. There's a lot of shit that has, for me, this has changed over there, because I keep saying the same thing. But I come from a world that don't talk that shit, and you can't be about that shit. I don't know how far y'all take that shit, but I take it way outside these dogs. Maybe that's just who I am as a person. I don't need to cuss y'all. I don't want to cuss y'all. This was meant to give you a platform to say whatever you had on your mind, because we can't agree to disagree, but be respectful. I mean that. And anything shy of that, I can do what I want to do. I hate putting people out. I hate banning people, but I don't have a problem with it. I just don't like doing it. And for you to do it over here, for me to do it, that means you really fucked up. So I don't forget either. I throw that out to you, Anthro, because you never gave that apology, but you still hang around. But just to let you know, that ain't never left my mind. And I swear to God, if you ever started back down that lane again, your ass would have been through too. Because all you had to do was say, you know what, y'all was right. But you couldn't do that. You went off on some other shit. So I just want being there. I know you out there. I haven't forgotten. Yeah, and it's still like a little needle in my back. So I really pay close attention to everything you say, because you're good for this channel. But you won't be that bad apple to fuck up this channel. So respect that part. And I even told you, you didn't have to do it live. You could have put that in a damn email. But being that you feel like you don't have to, you hear what I'm saying today, though, right? You see, at any given time, I want you to pull that stunt again, and I will show you. Because it ain't about apology then, because I don't have to deal with you. So respect what I'm doing up to this point. Don't ever take advantage of it. Just remember who house you in. I get real dog with it. I get mad, don't I? I be just as nice as hell, don't I? I don't be calling the motherfuckers. I don't be screaming and nothing. Mo be all out of the whack and shit. I'll be like, calm down, Mo. Let me deal with this shit. Triple M.
Yeah.
I got another one right here. Let me see what right. My man Cool Bean said, did you ever say the 4 ingredients to the sauce? See, you knew that was coming. It comes every show. Hey, Cool Bean, I know Cool Bean, I know we got at least 3, Cool Bean. I think we got 3. It's that 4th one that, he ain't completed that list yet, fam. I be up on it because I really be wanting to know.
Oh my goodness. he got me on that one.
Yeah, because what you ready to give up. Hey, just give up the 1 and don't even speak about the other 3. If they want the other 3, they can go back and Cool Bean probably done got the shit written down. He already know what he don't need but 1, but just in case, just throw out 1. I'll tell you You discussing that? You don't even know what 3 you got out there, do you? Yeah, right. Hey, Triple M, well, I got you, man. Johnny Rocket, big shout out to my man Johnny Rocket. He said, Triple M, you ever run any Mayday stuff?
No, no, I never did run any Mayday stuff.
He don't run into it. I put it like that. Yeah, you don't ran into it.
Yeah, me and Poe Man, we ran into it.
Yeah.
And also too, now we asked for a rematch that same night.
Come on now.
Yeah.
I know you was kind of upset about that.
No, we asked for a rematch. I knew I didn't think to go put it out. We asked for a rematch because we asked for a rematch right there. We asked for a rematch for a full year, and then Cruz said, "Man, y'all can stop asking for that rematch. Y'all ain't gonna get that." So we never did. We left it alone. It was what it was, but I asked for a rematch right then because we had a couple more that same size that we didn't bring the Jeep Nickel dog that Pretty Boy that he had. He brought that dog, but cause that was his choice to make. That he got from Cruz.
Yeah.
But we asked for a rematch, but we didn't. We never did get any comment or anything.
But look, you bought a bulldog because that was his longest fight in his whole career. Come on, so it's not like you bought no bullshit. I'm just saying that just speaks for the type of dog that you went into.
We understood that, but that dog that we bought couldn't have whooped Pretty Boy when it went long. That's why we wanted to have a rematch so we could see. We wanted that rematch. I asked for that rematch right then and there, but before he washed them off good. Well, I was still in the box. I asked for that rematch. Me and Bill, and he said, "Hey, let's see how this turned out, man, and we'll just talk about it later." I said, "Hey, well, we want a rematch, but we never did get a phone call. We never could even make a phone. We never did get anything on it. We never did talk to him again after that."
But come on now, think about it. After that night, why would you?
I'm telling you, good on my dad. We asked for a rematch and we asked for it for a while, but we never did get it.
But then that's what I'm saying, though. Come on now. You was there. You seen. Why would they? That was a damn good fight. The best fight that the dog ever had. Nobody else could stand with him that long. So then we talk about look who was all involved. Hey, y'all ain't no pushover shit. Who gonna be running back up to get their head cut off by you?
That was a Cruz. That was a dog that Bill got from Cruz Rocket, and he decided that. When he made that decision, I just went with the decision. But the dog that was a 2-time winner, Pretty Boy, I'm telling you how he was bred. He was off of Blackfoot, which was off of Smiley, bred back to Beauty, with nigger stuff in it. And his mother was a pure nigger dog, and the bottom part was that Red Boy Hempill stuff that I had bred up that we were breeding into. That's how Pretty Boy was bred up, and some more of them. So that's that. And he's not even 55-pound dog. So I was gonna bring him in at 53 and push 2 pounds. But we want him to come at 55 pounds again. 53 and a half was his weight. And I was just going to bring him at 53 and a half. But we never did talk with dude again. We never did. Nothing was never said. So after a while, Cruz told us, stop asking about it. You ain't going to get it. So that was that. It is what it is. We lost with the dog and stuff. But, I definitely would have liked to have it with that dog.
Now look, you were brought into that situation based on your conditioning.
Right.
Okay, so I understand your part. You did your job that day.
You're right.
Yes, you did a damn good job that day. So that part wasn't the part that was in question. I think it would have been a little different if it had been you. You know, see, everybody didn't know your situation in that, but I think it would have been possible if you had been, if you had did it outside of the way it came. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think that's where that came from.
Yeah. Now,
y'all talking about the Barracuda match?
Yeah.
I just sent you.
That was a good match, though. What are y'all talking about? That was a hell of a match.
We're just saying it was a hell of a match. That dog went longer than anything that Barracuda ever went into.
Right.
Now, what he was saying, he asked, the question was asked, did he ever have any Mayday stuff? And he told him no. And I see why, because he went into it.
Yeah. I just we just never crying. I guess that dog was off for. We had 2 dogs. That dog was Soldier, and he was off of Cruise Rocky, and the bottom part of I think he was some yellow stuff that Car Cruise had, and that's what Bill had gotten those dogs. I had went back to him to get some more Red Boy stuff to go back into the Red Boy stuff like I had. There was triple out red. I didn't find anybody with no triple out red stuff anymore. So I ran across him. He said, "Hey man, use just what I got," and we kind of started using that to go back into the stuff that I had. And that's what that was anyway.
Hey, what was that pedigree you wanted me to look up?
Oh, Rock, a triple out champion, triple out Rock. Now now that cold litter of Donna being bred back to her nephew, which produced all those cold dogs except for a couple of them. I just sent you an old picture of every one of them on the ground when they was a few weeks old.
Was it off of Russian Bill shit?
No, no. Bill bought that dog from us when he was no Russian Bill stuff. He bred him.
Well, that's what I was saying. Cause I got Russian Bill's triple out Rock.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, Mason. Yeah, I got him. Hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all doing that? I'm gonna give a big shout out to Hollywood. What up, fam? Small time. Kennels in the house. What up, fam? Sorry about that, fellas. I had to get it in. Trevor, what up, dog? I see you.
Okay, hold on. Let me get this pedigree off here. I'll be up here in a minute. Gotta get back where we was.
Hey, Triple M. Yeah. Has there been anybody else that you felt like that, that got you and you just couldn't get back?
Yeah. The 8-time winner that we went into that time out of Texas. I think he was the little mate to Lionhead.
The little mate, the Lionhead. He was an 8-time winner?
Yeah, 7, 8-time winner.
What about the one that you lost that broke your streak? Did you ever want to go back into them? Or did they ever give you a chance to get that back?
Talking about the local guy?
Yeah.
No, man, he had no, we were just all cool. We never did go back. Didn't nobody want to go into him, man. He had one of those dogs, I guess that was like the dog that Danny Burton had. He had an old turning dog that would snap, jump up in the air, run to the corner, come. I mean, man, you had to see it. I couldn't even explain it to you. and then nobody want to go against it. Yeah. Yeah, he had one that do a total 360 and snap and holler and scratch every time.
Yeah, because he beat a good one when he beat you.
Yeah.
Yeah, he beat a good one, a damn good one.
And so the rest of the people looked at that and was like, man, I ain't fucking with that shit.
You see this shit? Ain't no way.
No, man, yeah. Yeah, it was like that, man. Mm-hmm.
Well, that's just one of them situations where you be like, I know you wanted to get that get back, but this is the first time you really told us why you didn't try to get that get back. Because
not the local, yeah, that one, yeah. Yeah, wasn't nobody go mess with that running, turning dog, man. Shit, no. Mm-mm.
But you gave my opportunity, though. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I came right in there and took care of business.
Mm.
And I know that kind of like, you know, that was big news back then when y'all streak got broke.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was big news. Everybody wrote about it.
Yeah.
But it was a great accomplishment.
Yeah.
And somebody be sitting up here talking about you like they don't know who the hell they talking to, man. You know what I'm saying? Bro. Okay, Mo, you win. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, there it is right there.
Yeah, that's it. And if you notice, nobody never got those animals because those was the only one that could go toe to toe with the nigga Jeep stuff. Russian Bill was the only one that got one.
I can't believe y'all crossing the boat. Why am I hearing double voices?
Because you got two.
Get rid of one. Right? Get rid of one.
I can't. You got to do it. Okay, make him leave the room or something. I did it once before when I did that. I just don't know how to do it because you get that echo. Let me see here. So you bred this dog right here, Triple M.
Yeah, that's the only way. That's how we bred the Red Boy dog. When the guy told me in 83, 84, when he told me to go get one of those dogs, he said, take that and breed it to that old nigga stuff y'all got. And when I got down there, now her other little mates wasn't cold. It was two left. She was left, and he sold the other one to a guy in Texas, and they wasn't cold. And but he said, get this female, and he gave us a deal that we couldn't turn down. We came down there, and he said, take this female because you want to start breeding and start the yard off of this, and that's what we did. And she was cold, and Rock was cold.
You mean two cold down?
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Made that breeding several times. That's just like we did the nigga Jeep.
Well, it definitely worked out for y'all. Now, what? But why didn't you run? What made you back off of this? Because that was 82. I ain't meet you to the 90s, nigga. What happened?
What? Talking about that breeding right there?
I mean, yeah. I mean, as you move forward, remember you did this in 82. I didn't meet you to the 90s. So what happened?
It's just man, we could have had so many, but like I told, we couldn't do nothing with the ones we had. Wasn't nobody really buying dogs from us. I mean, people would go down there and buy dogs from people that wouldn't go into us back then. And I mean, that's how that's how how it was. Certain people, how it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. We started making that breed, and we got her. She was young. I think we bred her first heat. She might have been got her in 84, 83, 84.
Mm-hmm.
Probably when she was 15 months old, we started breeding her. Made that breeding, and it turned out. Now nothing behind her was cold. Nothing behind him was cold. And that's when Mr. Wallace told us, say, hey, and then when he go way back in the pedigree and tell you about everything from the back up to the front. But then he said, well, shit, man, they wasn't here to do anything. These are brew dogs you got that's bred like this. And breed them. And that's what we did. Same thing Mr. Ray Long told my dad. We used to go see Ray Long all the time. He said, shit, breed them dogs. Breed them cold dogs. And shit. And that's exactly what we did.
How did he produce for you? Did he produce for you?
Who, Rock?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He put that litter produced the same thing out of every litter, just like Smiley bred to the other dog. Produced the same thing. And the dude that told me to make that breeding, what's the guy that I told you that what's the guy that I told you that that hung around chicken Sam and hung around Bobby Hall and stuff like that. He was the one, telling us how to breed.
Well, you was a good listener because you definitely was doing them.
And he said, hey, I said, well, they both cold. I said, Mike, they both cold. I said, man, I don't make no difference breed them dogs. And that's what we did.
Okay.
Out of two brother-sister breedings.
Okay. My man TDK, he said, did you ever deal with any of the black jackhounds?
No.
I know y'all have been pretty consistent with your breeding program. I mean, over the years, and I'm talking about from the time that we met y'all, and I was in the 90s, and a lot of the stuff you was deep into these dogs when we was just getting into these dogs. So by the time we met you, you was dealing with a whole new different line of dogs. From what I'm seeing back in the 82.
Yeah, we started going out with different stuff. And I mean, and people, like I say, and a lot of people for us was, people that we met was in the game way, before us. But when we came in, we just had some people that we got lucky and it just worked. I mean, we did something that people hadn't really done. So, Jeep Dog hadn't been bred to the nigga. I mean, you sit around here, there were certain people that had certain dogs they was dealing with. A guy named Johnny Wise that was around Mr. Wise a lot. He had his own dog. Certain people that was in the game. But when I brought a Jeep dog in here, they didn't know nothing about no Jeep dog. They knew about the Bullet Sun stuff and whatever the stuff they was using. Didn't nobody come in with nothing like that. When I got a red boar dog, nobody around here know nothing about no red boar dog. You talking about 83. Mm-hmm. So you know what I'm saying? Here, I'm talking about here. They hadn't been exposed. They hadn't really been exposed to anything, different things like that. They did know about the nigger dogs for a while because Michael Evans had them. But when Mike Evans had them, he had them and they were cold. They were brew stock. And he said he was trying to do the wrong thing with brew stock. He was being stupid and dumb with them. So he told us don't make the same mistake. And he kind of led us told us, do this and do that. And we did. And that's what ended up, happening.
Hey, I got Ben Hellcat on the That's Grand Champion Hellcat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey Mo, bring it up some so we can see the whole bottom. A little bit more. There you go. Now let me ask you why I got you.
Okay.
You Miss K, ROM. ROM bitch. This breeding made her ROM.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. For those who don't know, hit some siblings right quick. Monsters. So was that the move that you was waiting on when you had Miss K? When was that something that you like said, you know what? I know you're telling me somebody told you what to do, but see, Donna and Diamond, you got this, you didn't make that breeding right there. You got Miss K from them, right? Or tell me how that worked.
Yeah, I own Donna was what the dog we got from Tubry.
Okay.
Diamond was the dog that come off of Demon. Demon and Donna were brothers. And now let me explain to you. Now I'm finna blow y'all mind. Somebody never told. Now, Jerry stayed in the Balls Bluff up here. He had dogs from John Tubry before. He was the one that brought Banks up on it. He had a brother to Donna and Demon, which was called Deacon. Now, here's the deal. That pedigree is wrong. Sugar Baby was off of Sugar Baby. He had a dog called Sugar Baby's mama. That breeding is not right. Sugar Baby's mama was a dog that he had got from a man, an old dog man, that would not give you the paper to his dog. Jerry Owens had known him for years, and he said your dog, and if you knew he had one that was inbred, he would do it, but he wouldn't give you the paper. So Jerry Owens been knowing this old dog man from I forgot where he's from, and he got this dog, and he got her. He took her down and won with her like in 2 hours. She didn't really have no teeth stuff. Now what he did didn't have baby. It was a boy that was keeping Dagger, Righteous Robert. Everybody know who that was. So he took Righteous Robert and bred to this female, and he had a little bad dog, and Sugar Baby was one of them. Then we took Sugar Baby and bred it to Demon. Had 2 dogs. Had Diamond and he had a female. He said, "Hey man, Mason," he said, "you can have one of these dogs if you raise both of them for me." So I raised both of them for him, and I grabbed a male dog and named him. He named him, Banks Diamond too. So Sugar Baby was actually off of Dagger. Then you bred a Demon back to Sugar Baby. See, and you see how Demon was bred. Demon and Donna was off of Two Breeds Outlaw and Two Breeds Dusty Ann.
Mm-hmm.
Righteous Robert was bred to Texas Bell. That's what made Demon. So Sugar Baby was actually off of Righteous Robert. So that pedigree is a lot closer with Righteous Robert in it than you know.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people don't know. See, that's a dog that was in our pedigree that nobody knew how it was bred.
Okay.
Well, I got a Hellcat. Uh, uh, he was
No.
one dog, couple dog, wasn't
So I just told a 40-year-old secret.
Yeah. Right. But then again, like you said, if you take the pedigree back and put it and look at it from the way you're looking at it, you know, the outlaw dog and, you know, everything on the bottom, right?
Mm-hmm.
Basically, it was almost matched up with what was already what they seemed like they was doing in the fourth generation.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you switch it around and put the dog, you start back there and put those dogs that you just named in that spot, and with Sugar Baby out here, it makes more sense.
That's right. Sugar Baby was directly out of Righteous Robert, which is Dagger. That was Sugar's baby daddy.
Well,
Yep.
a 40-year-old story, and that go to show you papers don't mean a damn, because you had a great litter, and this is what it is, ain't it?
Right. Yeah.
Because it don't matter, because the dog made the papers. The paper didn't make the damn dog, but you just giving the insights. But
that's right.
You knew that, and I'm pretty sure moving forward, y'all bred like that because you knew that moving forward. And let me ask you, if you knew that, is that what made you, do the Smiley breeding, or was you just gearing up to do it any damn way?
No, Mike, we were looking in the thing, and he said, my Ernest, yeah. He said, you don't mind spending money. He said, call this man right here. This a dog y'all need to go breed to. Do something that ain't nobody around here done and ain't never had the courage to do or wanted to do. And I called it. And he said, I don't have any dogs down there in Arkansas. I don't even know nobody in Arkansas. And we went up there and bred and bought Smiley.
So your intentions when you went and got Smiley, you was coming back to make this breeding anyway, right?
Right.
Okay. That's the reason why you got Smiley?
Yeah. These were the crosses we was going to make anyway. Mike Evans said, when you come back, you get y'all. We said, Carson, man, y'all got a male off of them. Yeah, man, come back here and start breeding to this old crazy alligator stuff y'all got. That's game, ain't got no talent. It's cold and crazy and all that, and that's what we did.
Okay.
Mike Evans was a guy that, like I said, it hung around with Chicken Sam, hung around with Barbie Hall. This is a guy back in the day that was going to stuff when Barbie Hall and them used to ride across to Georgia and go into Mr. Divine and all this stuff. This is a guy that was at stuff like that. This is a guy that saw Driller and all this stuff that Barbie Hall had, and stuff in that nature.
Mm-hmm.
And that was riding with them and meeting all these other big time dog men and stuff like that. He was just a guy. He was a big contractor. He had money, like you say. He was just a fool with money. Then that's what he told me. But he had a lot of knowledge.
Okay.
He was a black guy that was around. I mean, he stayed down there and stayed with Barbie Hall and Barbie Hall conditioned dogs. I mean, stuff like that.
Now, look, when you talk about Bobby Hall and his conditioning, he was known as a good conditioner. But I just can't believe that Bobby will walk 10 miles, man. Okay.
Man, he just from what Mike told them old guys worked the dog to death, man. Several hours and all this kind of stuff, man. It was, it was a lot of them that did that. I come to find out. And
did what? Walk 10 miles?
man, I don't know. I ain't never walked no.
Damn well, you ain't walked no damn 10 miles. I know you wasn't.
No.
You were a well-known conditioner. I know you wasn't walking no damn 10 miles. That's why I was just like, I just know Bobby Hall wasn't walking no 10 miles.
No.
I know he probably used the shit out of that cat meal.
Yeah, he used that. He had different stuff, or what a lot of them have back then. That turning table stuff like that they had, yeah, stuff like that. Yeah, they worked the dog to death. Now, Mr. Wallace told me it didn't take all that.
Okay, now taking what you just said, Mr. Wallace said it didn't take all that.
Yeah, Mr. Wallace. Yeah.
And how Bobby used to work the shit out of it. Ricky Jones used to work the shit out of his shit too.
Yeah.
So where did you find your common ground at? Where do you fall at in between them two things?
I fell in that, man, outside of being a athlete myself. I was fortunate enough when I played football at Arkansas State. They track Coach Carter was a little short guy. He had his own tennis shoe line. This was a guy that had somebody in the Olympics every time you turned to wild. You know, Earl Bell, Al Joyner, different people like this and stuff. Always had world-class sprinters and stuff like this right here. And it's the workouts that we did. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, man, I was going up there to track camp, man, in the 70s. I remember going up there because I was a big time track guy, all state, this and that, a 3-star blue chip, or all this kind of stuff. And I would go up there to football camp and track camp. And it's just like in the 70s when I was going up there and things was going. I remember him taking us to the swimming pool and putting a life jacket on it and making us do workouts in the swimming pool. This is what you do, Mason, when one of y'all got a pulled muscle. He said, I put my guys in here, he said, and they don't miss a workout. You know, this and that, stuff like that. All this type of stuff. So I applied all that stuff to the dogs.
Okay.
You know, he was a big nutrition guy, very smart. You know, when you somebody, every time you look around, you got somebody in the Olympics and stuff like that, you come in contact with everything. You know, and stuff. And I'll listen to it, and I applied a lot of that stuff to the dogs. And it worked. You know.
Well, it made you who your history speaks for itself. Because again, you were well known as a conditioner. You better bring one. You better bring one. You better be right.
Yeah. First of all, got to have the right thing in your hands.
First, got to know what it even looks like.
Yeah.
To get started.
And so getting into it, you know, being around Tubery, going down there, you know, meeting, you know, Mr. Tubador, listening to him, you know, meeting Drew Fall, you know, meeting all those different, you know, Duhan and all, meeting these guys and seeing real, you know what I'm saying?
Real dogs.
Yeah.
Match dogs.
Yeah. You know, I'm looking at Timex going against the Drew Fall Timex, not the Turtle Buster Timex. I'm looking at him going against a son of Pool Hall Red, and he making him, you know, the Pool Hall Red dog pickup game and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know,
a good match.
Yeah, different stuff like that, man. Or you know, you
seeing their body at work, right?
Oh man, you looking at it. They had a dog off of Pistol Pete called Superman. When they get you down there in the little old town or whatever it was, that was his name, man. About this. Then all of a sudden you didn't hear nothing about Superman no more. I said, man, what happened? You know, this and that. Then somebody said, man, he got whooped. You know what happened to? Guess who whooped him?
Who?
L.A.
Where they had a grudge match or something? What brought L.A. out?
I guess because Superman, he was a Superman. He was a super. Wasn't nothing go stay there. Wasn't nothing go come close to him. So L.A. popped up out the scene, and and when it came down to it, and they didn't. You never did hear nothing else about it no more. You know how they was. They kept that. They didn't want. They kept that close unless you was there. So we found out. Said, well, man, Bob Banks said, man, he got whooped. Whooped him. Then later on down the road, come to find out that L.A. went down there and whooped him.
But they kept that on the hush.
Kept it on the hush, yeah. Kept it on the hush. And when I say, L.A., what you whipping with? A hard mouth cur.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
No, he didn't.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
He must have really wanted that dog because LA didn't get out there like that much unless it was something that he just knew he could do.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And he took a hard mouth Kurt and went be Superman.
Yep.
With all the hype that was behind Superman.
Yeah.
Well, you know why they kept that quiet, especially down in your area. That wasn't supposed to happen.
No, not down
no,
there.
Not down that way.
Not down in Church Point.
No. Hey, I got a question for you, Triple M. Yeah. Again, you know, I hope you answer it, but I understand if you don't. My man, Johnny Rocket said, how many days did you rest them a week?
Oh, man. A lot of times, man, I gave almost every weekend off.
Yeah. So I'm taking it that you still believe in working in hell out of a dog based on what you learned in motherfucking school with shit, you know what I mean? Because you don't become a top-notch athlete, you know, without knowing something. You know, we attribute a lot of what we do due to what the Marine Corps and what in the years we spent wrestling.
Right.
So cutting weight and being strong was always, and then making weight kind of was, because we talked about 95 and 105. Mo was 98 pounds. I was 105. That was the lowest weight classes once we got in high school. And we caught hell making them weights. Well, you know, we had to come down and still be strong.
Well, my bodybuilding started here, and I had a guy. There was a guy came here, Marine Special Forces from Michigan. He started he opened a gym, and he started a little bodybuilding thing here, which nobody even really you just seen it on TV until he came. So my cousin, she took my cousin, and he started my cousin into bodybuilding. And it started with having the competitions here, which no black people was in it then at all, or knew anything about it. And I was working out with my cousin all the time. So I really learned about nutrition and everything. Still, I learned all that. I learned all of that then. You know, Terry went on to become Mr. Mid-South. He married a young lady that was in the Marines. Military. He went to Germany, won big contests, you know, everywhere. And all of that played a part in, you know, with me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that stuff stayed with me, you know, and you know, I just learned. I started learning. That was in going to my 11th grade year, you know, and stuff like that. And I became one of the once I learned about supplements from Jimmy Lee, that year, I was in some of the best shape I had ever been in, because of the supplements and stuff at that time that he had me on. And you know, it wasn't Walmart vitamins or nothing like that. It was, you know, sort of liquid vitamin stuff that got into your system real quick. And that year I didn't have cramps. I wasn't fatigued like I used to be after practice, as fatigued and stuff like that. It made a big difference. And I took that same knowledge to college.
Well, I was just going to ask you that because being in sports, I mean, dogs aren't human.
No.
As humans, we know that feeling. You know what I'm saying? So do you basically predict what the dog is going through based on what you're doing to the dog, and you react, and everything that you do moving forward is based on what you see out of that dog? Because as human beings, we know us. We can say something.
Yeah.
But dogs can't.
While Mr. Wallace say, you got to think for the dog. He said, man, these dogs, run, grab a wild boy, and all this stuff and all this crazy stuff. He said, you got to think for them because they can't tell you. That's what Mr. Wallace told me. He said, you got to think for these dogs because something will be going on with them. You'll never know it. This man shot one guy's dog years ago with a shotgun. And the dog, wobbled home, and you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Everything. But like Mr. Wallace said, you got to think for these dogs. He said, you got to think for these stupid dogs. And that's what you have to do.
And all dogs are different, fellas. So imagine you thinking for a whole bunch of different dogs because you can't treat them all the same way. I'm glad you said that, man, because that is a great point. Because no matter, we could tell them the whole damn keep, give them everything to do to keep, and they'll still fuck it up because there's so much else that you didn't give them. But it'd be them little small things we talk about.
Because the workout on a Hellcat, you can't put that same workout on Battle Cat. That's a little dog. It don't
you work. Do you work your little dogs harder than the big ones?
No, no.
The little dogs always seem to have more energy. Got to. You can put them through a beating, and then you feel, you think, no, I got to go harder on this motherfucker right here because it can take it, type of shit. Little dogs have that a lot more for me compared to some of the bigger dogs.
Yeah. So no, it's dealing with Mr. Wallace. He, this is what he told us one time sitting out there. He's smoking that cigar, drinking. He said that if a dog is in decent shape, this is what he told me. He said, not fat, not this, not any of that on the chain. And if it's good, so I should be able to give you an hour off the chain, ought to be able to give you an hour off the chain. He said if you put an hour in it, I ought to be able to give you 2 hours. Now those were his exact words to me.
Mo got a picture up of the departed friends, Bob Wallace and Mr. Ernest Mason. I don't know if you can see that, Triple M.
Yeah, that's the book that Bill Stewart, he ended up taking over that. It was called Pit Bull Reporter. And he did real good with it too. I mean, it all across in other countries was getting it. He was a real smart guy. Things happened to him, but he was a real smart guy. A real good guy. A real smart guy. Was pretty straight with us too, man. I ain't nothing bad to say about Bill.
Hey, Hemi said that's some big kahunas mentally to take a known cur into a highly rated dog. Laugh my ass off. Hey, Hemi, you would have to know LA. You really would. You would have to know LA.
Yeah.
That's not I mean, we're talking about a genius type of dude.
Yeah, you talking about a guy that did not care about being out there, anybody saying anything. You talking about a guy that didn't want any type of recognition, but you talking about a guy that had back then that had 8-time winner, 9-time winners and stuff like that. That you know, he's in that category.
Yeah.
And Jack, you should be. Man, how come you won't come forward with this? How come you won't come forward with that? Oh no, Jack, I ain't with that. But you better not step in there with
him. I know LA, we had that. Remember, we had the conversation with him. He was telling us about cloning. He knows his shit.
Yes.
He knows his shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, what is he, a professor?
Yeah.
MD, some type of shit, but he knows that shit. And, you know, and this is just one of them crazy things. He bulldogging like a motherfucker.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Nothing to be played with when he bulldogging, y'all. And I'm talking about this man is damn near a genius. He tell you about the whole cloning. I mean, he's got years in that. I can't even remember what he's a MD of, but he took that shit, put that shit in the bulldogs, and bad man. So yeah, it ain't really crazy to see him do some shit like that, because
yeah, he did most of the conditioning on Tornado.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. He did. I don't know how many. I think he might have did all of hers. Yep. Yeah.
And she was in some wars, man.
Hey, y'all,
hold on, Mo, you sounding terrible, but let me, if I think they can get up there to read it. A tribute to lost friends. These past few months have been sad and costly to the Pit Bull fraternity. Sad because we have lost dear friends and loved ones, and costly to us all because of the trust, knowledge, and experience where good dog men took with them. I don't know, the color just changed on me, Mo. I can barely see it.
When they left us?
Yeah, when they left us. Our cover photo was, of course, taken quite a few years ago. Mr. Wallace has been gone for several years now.
Yeah.
What the other dog man in the picture?
That was in 97, yeah.
Yeah. Another dog man in the picture, a man who I am proud to have called my friend, Mr. Ernest Mason Jr. Okay, Mo, you threw me off there. Hold on, let me see where we at. I'm trying to pick up where I was. Yeah. Though less famous than Mr. Wallace, I personally can attest to the fact that Ernest Mason, along with his father, Thomas.
Yeah, his brother.
Along with his brother, Thomas, who tragically also passed away shortly after Ernest, and his son, Harold, were as good, as honest, and as competitive as any dog man of their time. Never one to, what is that?
To shrink. Like that. Yeah.
Never one to shrink. Never one to shrink top level competition. Ernest was kind that will seek out champions and big reputation dogs to match into. More often than not, would come away with the win, come away a winner. Ernest Mason's expertise was limited.
Was not limited. Yeah.
Was not limited to match dogs, as is addition to being an excellent conditioner. And unlike many dog men today, okay, he's coming back. Hold on. Today, I got to remember where I left off at. Okay, dog men today who seek out and buy top quality dogs for their own use. Ernest also bred and used his own line of dogs. Come down a little bit, Momo. I can finish this. His foundations were some good old game champion alligator nigger dogs. To this, he crossed in some Jeep line by breeding 2 Jeep, and also very successfully by using a male crossed.
Named Smiley.
A male Jeep dog named Smiley, one of his favorites. Along the way, he also influenced some red boy blood, but by far his most successful breeding was when he took his old alligator gem K to the Smiley dog. This union produced some of the best dogs ever to come down the pike. In fact, it worked so well, he made the breeding several times and produced excellent dogs out of every litter. Some of the most memorable ones are Grand Champion Hellcat. Okay, we move that stuff out the way here. Yeah, Mo working it from his phone. We got to get on that list. We got to get back to that list. I got to get back to that list. They don't know who they talk about, man. Come on, son. We got to get back to that list. Okay. Did it come back yet? Hey, Mo, you going to make it? Is it going to do it? I'll come over here while you're doing that. Just let me know when you get there. I'll be able to see it from where I am. But you know what? Triple M. I mean, basically, the story goes, as you know, when some of you guys sit here and read it, and then you just can't imagine the type of history that comes in here and they share this. I mean, it's obvious to me that as much as me and Mo be speaking on these great dog men, that when you see other people write about them, what kind of person do you got to be to disrespect somebody like that? I'll be trying to figure that out. Step up to the plate. Thanks, Mo. What's up? Let me see. Some of the most memorable ones are Grand Champion Hellcat, Champion Panther, Champion Pee Wee, Champion Battle Cat, I think that's, and Champion WD. All out of Smiley and K breeding. Ernest good dogs were not limited to this breeding through, and he also produced Triple Out Rock, I think that's, and Alligator to Red Boy cross, as well as many other very good dogs. I'm doing this from memory, and I'm sure I'm leaving out, but I think the picture is clear. Ernest Mason Jr. was an excellent dog man, an excellent breeder, and by far, true of his honesty, and integrity. Set a fine example for these young dog men who were fortunate enough to have known and learned from him. Rest in peace. Okay, let's get that in there. Rest in peace, Ernie and Thomas. Yours, some loyalty goals.
Yeah, lofty goals.
Lofty goals for the rest of us, and left a what does that say?
Unbelievable mark.
Oh, yeah, unbelievable mark on the dog game. And you won't be, is that soon forgotten?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you won't be soon forgotten. No, because it's our job to make sure they're never forgotten. Because see, fellas, this is when I be talking about receipts. The man can sit here and tell you all day, but it's a different thing when you sit here and you're just reading this, something that somebody else felt about this person, this family, this man and these dogs. I mean, you don't get no better than that. And to see that even when this was written, you see how we talk, talks about, for all the lucky young guys who got a chance to just be around and learn from them. I remember, Triple M is still the son. And he's sitting here and he carried on that same earnest mentality of the Masons. So when we say Masons, I would think everybody would know the Masons, because that is a part of the Bulldog history. Unlike some of the other names, the Masons was just one of them that, hell, before I knew Mason, I knew the Masons, but just to actually be in the same room and meet him, and then look what he did for us. Why do you think we talk about it? These are memorable moments. Look, Wall boys, plow boys, come on. Us.
It might stop. Stop sharing. Stop.
Okay.
And don't forget him. Don't forget Mama.
Who?
Mama.
Oh no, no, Mama, he was just part of that. Remember, Mama took us on a whole new, both of them took us two different ways. When it came down to the learn, Mason has always been like Big Bro. He talks shit, eat your head off, don't want to talk to you no more, slam the phone and then call you 5 minutes later. Boy, you piss me off. But look, man, when they sharing this information, and anybody who does this, yeah, you can't forget, you can't forget them. This is why we don't try to, when we talk about these guys, and we're all old. You're supposed to be able to get whatever you can get out of that, because guess what, fellas? That shit been working for years. Years. Generations of shit. Not too many people can say or do that. The Masons could. But that's just a small bit of greatness in such, and our fraternity is not that big. So I think it's still, the greatness is really small compared to the size.
I wish Bama was on here, man. You talking about a history dictionary. Last time I was talking to him, he was pulling me up on stuff I didn't know, he was telling me about Cincinnati being like a melting pot of old dog mans coming there from everywhere, New York and all those people, when the stuff was coming in, you know, when they was coming from the 1800s, you know, when they was coming down to Mississippi and stuff, and you know, from that lake going into the Mississippi, going, you know, coming down to Cincinnati, and he was explaining to me how some of the old men were coming there, you know, back in the 1800s. That there was I had no idea that that place was known for that, you know, back in that time. And he said that's where they used to come to. They used to talk about it all the night. He can tell you the whole story because he talked to some of these old guys back in the day that got dogs from old men that came over here from Ireland. He got history like that. You know, he can break it down to you.
Who, my mom? Yeah, he the one that was filling us in on. We talked to one day with an old guy, and man, that old guy knew some shit. And you got him and Mama on the phone. I swear, I tried to get them both on the show because you want to talk about some history.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Whew.
yeah. He can tell you about the guy that he dealt with. Got an old dog from. I guess she was just too old to breed, and this guy had got dogs from another old guy that actually, you know, had the dog that was coming off the boat from Ireland. You know, stuff like that. You know, he saw the pictures of the old dog and stuff like that. You know, oh, it's wild. You'd be amazed some people that put in certain positions that talk to certain people. You know, I was just fortunate enough to be around Mr. Wallace and meet Pat Carver. And like I said, Dad and Ray Long was pretty good friends. They used to love to go down and they sit up and smoke cigars together and talk. Like I said, my whole thing was I was not thinking about cranking that tape recorder up with these people back in the day.
Because it was just them talking bulldog, right?
Extraordinary stuff, man.
Right.
You know, I mean, there's no telling, you know, Carver was cool with the old man Morph, and he was cool with the black guy in Chicago that was breeding up some of his dogs. You know, it's different things. And that in this yard boy that I went down there, and then Pat called him, and we went over to his house, and you know, he was telling me about the whole litter of Honey Bunch, you know, and you know, and the man down there that had dogs that was off the litter of Honey Bunch, but he didn't know it, you know. Roger Finn, he had secrets of Carver that he wouldn't tell. Stuff like that, man. And you know, it was something to listen to. Now you're talking about people that was just right there.
Right. Well, you one of them people that was right there.
Yeah. Oh, what is now, right?
Man, you know we old as shit, man. Come on, dog.
Yeah.
I tell you, it be the moments where you got to step back and just look at this shit and be like, you know, in our head, it's just like it was yesterday. But the reality of it is, nah, man. Nah, we way back there.
You know, like after we went to Kenny Allen, he invited us down. And, you know, we got down there. He told us, you know, man, y'all not going home tonight. Y'all staying here, you know, that night. That's the night he was died. I was there. I was the one that broke the dogs up and stuff. And at that night, he said, hey, he said, listen, yeah. He said, Ernest, that's I ain't got nothing out of Tornado. He said, man, let's breed her to that Smiley dog. He said, y'all staying here tonight. Y'all don't worry about nothing. And shit, man, he said, we finna talk some real business. And he didn't make it through that night. One of them things. You know. So.
I know that was a hurtful, sad situation.
Oh, man, yeah. You know.
One of the greats. Doing what he loved to do.
Oh, to the end. Yeah.
Come on, man. That's one of them great moments. She was there.
Yeah.
So yeah. I can imagine the feeling.
Yeah, I was there. I broke up the animals. I helped get him out the box. Yeah.
Well, you've always, I mean, big shout out to you, big bro. I mean, all the respect in the world. Because again, you know, you got to love these dogs, and you always made that a point. You always, I mean, anybody who knew you, anybody that you ever took the time out and that you helped along the way, I can truly tell you, if we listened, it worked.
Yeah, I got pretty good at some things, you know, by listening to other people that, you know, like I say, from listening to the Pat Carvers and the Ray Longs and the Bob Wallaces and different people. One I had to throw in there, man, I can't forget that's the Kingfish Kid, Barry Perry.
Mm-hmm.
You got to remember, man, his family been in the dog game over 100 years.
I think I heard about them. They've been breeding the same line of dogs for, they say, even to this day.
His grandfather was breeding them. His grandfather was breeding them, selling bootleg, and was selling dogs for $40-$50. And he was a historian too. I mean, when I tell you he knew his stuff, he knew his stuff. You know, when what you call him paid his daddy to go into Angus, not no setup fight, but told him to bring one of the best that he could bring, because at that point wouldn't nobody go into Angus. And he said Billy Steps paid it. Paid him and told him to bring the best that he got.
Wasn't enough.
No.
Wasn't enough, though. History told us it wasn't enough.
yeah.
Shit, look, man, I'm just keep it real. You know the deal. You know, they was damn good dog men, but then that's what it was all about, though. That's just the reality of what I'm saying to y'all. He's telling y'all. They was dead serious about that shit. But in the end, you got to give them credit, because they were what one wouldn't do, they did. But the fact that they did it, you know, that's where history come in. It just wasn't no bullshit ass people doing it back then. You know what I'm saying?
Nope.
That shit was real. You know, but that's why, you know, we try to keep this thing and to where y'all just put yourself in our situation, put yourself in their place, put yourself in that time. Just because time changes, the dog man still gonna be the dog. And if you know your dogs, you should be dealing with American Pit Bull Terriers. Gangs. So it's like this to teach you how to, you know, tell you what to look for. Give you an idea of what it felt like. Give you some type of picture in your own head about some of these great men that we talk about. You still tripping on me talking about Angus whooping his ass, huh? Hey, was you around when the ass whoop, after the ass whooping? Did you ever talk to him about, you know, that damn Angus, where they gave Angus the credit? Because I'm pretty sure they did bring the best they had.
Yeah.
Okay, how they feel about that? Did they give it to the dog, or did they come up with an excuse that there was something they did wrong?
No, it wasn't no excuse or nothing, man. I just remember him telling me about it, man. It wasn't no excuse or nothing. You know. But no, man, it was just one of them things, man. It wasn't no big. I remember him telling me about that, man. But that's a guy that knew a lot of history and knew a lot about a lot of dogs. Like I said, you know, his daddy was 90 something. His grandfather was in the game. So man, that family of guys have been in the game 100 years plus.
Sir, you know? 100 plus.
Yeah, 100 plus. You know, and he could tell you about some dogs that some guys had that they bought that dog from his grandfather, changed the paperwork on it and all that stuff. And, man, I mean, yeah, he could. I mean, he He could tell you about it. You know.
Hey man, they throwing rocks, man. My man said, "Great show, Eminem. Need that formula for twins. Get Junior back on." He said, "Go get Junior." You ain't tell him shit. Get Junior back on. I tell you, man, they never ending. Somebody they gonna every time you show up, they gonna be on it. They wouldn't be the Shark Tank if they didn't ask. But they say go get Junior. Where Junior at? Where is Junior? Junior, tell it. Junior get that degree. Junior gonna tell us everything.
So he gonna break it all the way down, huh?
You know damn well Junior gonna break it all the way down.
Oh man, he got a lot ahead of him. So anyway,
yeah, he got a lot of history behind him too, though, and that's the great thing about it, because the legacy still goes on. You know, he got something out the deal.
Oh yeah, he do. Yeah. So.
Let me see here.
Yeah.
Everybody, let me put this up here. It says, my man said, who that? Mateo. He says, salute and respect. Ginseng is one of them, and B5, we are missing 2 more. Okay, they throwing them out there.
Some ginseng, huh?
Okay.
All right.
Well, they done heard you say it before, because he seemed pretty up on. He know he missing 2. No.
Yeah.
I think even in his conversation, I think he missing 2. No, he missing 3. he missed something. I'm just saying. Nah, I got an idea what the shit is, but I know if he missing 2, he missing 3.
Oh shit. Yeah.
Hey fellas.
Keep it going.
Well, we're gonna keep you coming, and sooner or later, Junior will be home from school. We catch him on one of them holiday shows. Yeah. I'll put your ass on mute in a minute. I said, I got to get Junior to log in. No, don't talk with your dad. You got to log in, because we might have to mute your dad. Boy, you're talking too damn much. Oh, Lord, you messing it up now. Come on. Ain't too many legacy dog men, generation after generation, trying to keep it in-house. That's when you bulldogging, though. I mean, it's hard to do. Thank God. Thank God for the kids. Believe that, man. Thank God for the kids. Because I never wanted my kids to be in it like I was in it. But I always wanted to be able to love the dog and know what kind of dog they had. Don't do dumb shit. If you have any questions, call your uncle. And and it works, man. Trust me, this shit actually works. Because it's all about the dogs anyway. And that's what we come here for. This is why we get in here and we have these conversations. Because some of us have really done the shit. Some a whole lot more than us. Don't have no problems being on the bottom of the totem pole. But I know by just listening to these people that we're listening to and the people we have on this show and their experience and their knowledge, sharing it with like we got it. Y'all get it in bits and pieces, but at least you're getting it. Only time we hanging out with Triple M, and he's been very generous of hanging out with us. You're not hearing the same stories. He always gonna have something he throws in there, a 40-year-old secret, right? Because now, how many people you think gonna go back and look at that damn pedigree? Huh? How many people gonna go back and try to put that pedigree the right way? Because once it worked once before and created greatness, you're supposed to don't do what the paper said, do what Mason said. Look at it from that point, because I think that's what helps. It's the little things like that to make you look at shit a little bit different. Because maybe that's why they couldn't get what you got, man. Because they were still paying attention to the papers. You ever thought of it like that, Triple M?
I already know.
Okay, well.
Yeah, Sugar Baby mother was named Short Shirley. Went 2 hours in Louisiana and won with a chipped off canine. And he took her and he went back to the man and said, she's inbred, but she is what she is. And the old man told him, he said, I had no doubt. And he went, and the guy that was keeping Righteous Robert at the time, and he gave that guy $1,000 and made a breeding and bred Short Shirley to the Righteous Robert. And then after that, he went back into the stuff that he got from John Toubrey. Went back. Yeah. But nobody knows what Short Shirley was out of, because the man would not tell. He was some known dog man. That was a good dog man that Jerry Owens knew from somewhere. But he would not give you the paperwork on his dog. But Jerry had saw his dog and said he didn't care when he saw the dog.
Let me give my big shout out to my man MB45. Big shout out to my man. This not J-Bo, aka J-Bo in the house. What up, fam? Showing that love. Appreciate the love, fam. Hey, fellas. I need y'all to help me out here. I ain't trying to keep y'all here all night because, we will be here all night. But help me out here. We at that time of the show that you got to show some love. Show some love. Give me some damn thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Muscles, muscles, muscles. Now show some love. Give my man Triple M, the legendary Triple M, his roses. Roses. We need them damn roses. Show y'all's love. Hey, big brother, I really do appreciate you when you show up like you did. Okay? You dropping the jewels all the time. And you help us do what we try to do. I mean, I don't know how many people really knew about your family legacy in this game, but you help us get it out there. Because, like I said, they should never be forgotten. When they show homage to you, they're supposed to show homage to where you got it from, don't you think? Because I think that's important, to understand where you're coming from. Where'd they get it from? No damn well when people start seeing Jordan doing the shit that he did, they went to looking for his daddy. You know what I'm saying? Would anybody do anything great, you're going to go look where they get it from.
Well, I'm going to say thank you for just knowing, all these years.
Big shout out to my man Marquise B. Marquise said, just sitting back, listening and watching the ball game. Great Great stuff. Appreciate that, fam. Long time no see, but I know you be right back there hanging out. Space Age Pitch. What up, fam? I see you. Tony. Appreciate the love, fam. Big shout out to Tony. Hey, fellas. I really appreciate y'all showing up. Cosmo. I see you, fam. I hope I didn't leave out nobody. Divas. I see you. I see you, fam. I know I seen you earlier. I thought I shot y'all just in case I didn't. There you go. Big shout out to my man, Uncle Wooly. Appreciate the love, fam. Hey, man. Again, I always tell y'all, this Bulldog game, you know, for us in the history and being in it to the degree that we're in it, you know, we don't wish that on nobody. And most of the dog men who do, you know, they take any and everything that come with it and still be trying to be great, which is nothing wrong with that. How can I knock that if that's what we all did? I always just say, you know, what we learned, we're supposed to pass it forward. It's not being passed forward to be criticized or talked about. And that's the sad thing. Because there's a lot of people who take this information and it helps them become better dog men, regardless of what they're doing and how they're doing it. It's still always going to be about the dog. Your purpose don't have to be our purpose, but regardless, you still got to work the dog. You still got to know what a good dog look like. You still got to breed the dog. What are you breeding a dog? You have a purpose for why you breeding that dog. I mean, all these things help somebody. Don't have to help everybody. But it's just good to know that there's somebody who gets something out of this show, even if it's nothing but to sit back and reminisce about the times. There's something in there for everybody. And I appreciate everybody for showing up. I appreciate everybody for showing the love. And I hope this is one of the reasons y'all keep doing what y'all doing. This is probably why Triple M comes back. Because he never has been one to shy away from helping anybody. If him helping us help you is what he do, then that goes to show his integrity, his friendship and honesty when he do show up. Because tonight he said he was going to show up and he showed up. So we back on the honesty roll with me. Still love you, bro.
Yeah, let me go in here and give me a nightcap and go to sleep.
Yo, I appreciate you, bro.
and get up and walk me a couple of miles in the morning. You know, I got to try to walk down mine. I had these surgeries and stuff, so I got to condition myself.
All right, you keep doing what you're doing. Stay safe, big brother. You know that's one love, always, forever. You know that. I ain't got to tell you. But take care of yourself, bro.
Thanks, big bro. Thanks, bro.
I'm gonna do that. I'll holler at y'all, man.
Okay.
Call me tomorrow.
I will.
Okay, bro.
Hey, big shout out to my man Cedric Cameron. I see you, fam. Long time no see, but I see you. Hey, fellas. Appreciate everybody again. My closing thing tonight, you know, I didn't have no certain topic because, you know, this is one of them Talk Shit Tuesday and we just going to be talking dogs. So we really wasn't all over the place. You know, my biggest thing is trying to learn something out of this show to where it makes this show worthy for us to even do this type of shit. Because I feel like when we stop doing that, when we stop feeling like that, there's no reason to do it. And I think everybody should feel like that when it comes down to these bulldogs. I mean, it already takes a special kind of person to even deal with them. You know? But there is levels to this shit. And there ain't nothing wrong with always trying to level up, because every man that ever been on this show, everybody that we've talked to, everything that I've learned in this game was always going to be based on leveling up my game. Not hating on the next man or worried about what he doing, but concentrating on leveling up our game. All aspects of it. All aspects of it.
That's why I got so many people that I can tell how many.
Because when they share it and you use it, and we just try to be examples, because, hey, we know different than nobody else out here. Pay close attention, did this shit, got lucky, whatever you want to call it. But if you did it this way, bulldogging, and this is how you bulldogging, this is how we came in it bulldogging, leveling up our game, then so be it. Let that be what the game consists of.
Right. Just, don't be hating because you can't.
Don't hate if you ain't never done it. This ain't about that shit. I mean, I think it's not that hating because somebody did something that you didn't do. It sounds crazy as fuck to me.
Right.
That I try not to even have those type of conversations. And for the ones that try to have this conversation over here, you know, I try to be fair about it, because I will say your name so you know exactly who I'm talking to, and I will address what you say and give you the opportunity to address it as long as you're respectable. And that's some integrity shit going on. That's me really not being an asshole.
I'm gonna be the asshole.
Mo gonna be the asshole. So I try to keep Mo down, but I think it's every person should be able to have a chance to get whatever they got to get off their chest, as long as they try to be respectful.
They don't be having
big shout out.
Run their mouth. I'm gonna pull it out. Correct.
I'm gonna give a big shout out to my man, Mr. Randy Fry, aka Mama. Hey Mama,
what you doing? You supposed to be in here.
Mama be on the back street, but look,
yeah, I got you.
But I would love to have Mama and Triple M at the same time.
Yes, sir.
Mama, you could do a show by yourself because you're the historian. But I would just like to have the presence of Big Bruh, simply because y'all done a lot of things together. And the audience deserves to have that interview.
Yeah.
That conversation. And being we getting closer, you know, at any given moment, we trying to jump off this bandwagon anyway. But that would be one of the, you know, that's an all-time high for me. Because I know you be back there in the back street, but I need to come out the back street one more time and give me that show, both of y'all, at the same time. I will promise you, I will have that show advertised a week ahead of time.
I would have a light up here. I would have Super Kennels up here. I mean,
we could have a whole lot of damn people. See, I try to say that show when you get ready to tell me, you know, this is going to be it. When you say, hey, we need to start winding down, I'm going to put together one of them big ones. Big ones.
Yeah, I would love to have all of them.
Start early and end late.
Yeah.
Be one of the last shows we do. So, fellas, keep it tight. That's all I'm going to tell you. Keep it tight. Block stay hot. Block's supposed to always be hot. You know? And if you're really bulldogging, you should have no problem. And we use this a lot. You know, this is our little cliche, and regardless of what people say or think. I'm just saying, if you stick to the motto, always.
Always.
God damn it. We mean always.
Always.
Better scratch the win.
Every time.
I give a damn. One damn thing for sure when it's all said and done. Ain't no two curves walking up out of here.
Okay.
I'm scratching all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And until Friday, Mo, you know what I do.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Better know my head, but I don't talk about it, be about it. That's the code we live in the game with them pit bulls. See the proof and how to give from the pit to the trophies. Every chain, every game. Don't talk about it, be about it, be about it. Don't talk about it, be about it. That's the code we live in the game with them pit bulls. See the proof and how to give from the pit to the trophies. Every chain, every game. Don't talk about it, be about it, be about it. Most wanted kennels in the spotlight, danger alert come with the name. Super kennels competition, all built for the fame. Work kennels was the work and work, while Cherokee kept the game strong. Evolution built a bloodline, where the heart come from. These dogs ain't hype, they the truth in the pit. Every pedigree stamp when them paws hit the street. Ain't no fairy tales, just that real y'all grit. Don't talk about it, be about it. That's the pit bull script. Shout the brothers with the backbone thick. Veer brothers, color brothers, Bishop brothers legit. They don't talk about it, they be about it every day. Put the work in y'all let the results say. Them boys on the rise, yeah the circle stay tight. Plow boys, wall boys, Havana boys in the fight. Different flags, same ground, same fire, same spit. Don't talk about it, be about it. That's the litmus test.
Legend of doom behind set tone. Locked tight, locked in, carved in stone. Church boys hold it with the pit bull gauge. Fruit colors on man, Sean B in the maze. Arsenal game bill, but your knife stay sharp. Only in America, walk them down Ram in the dark. DSK and Metal High Dog, pound by hard when they hit. Praise to the men who rock this shit.
Don't talk about it, be about it.
Yeah, they live it.
Fat boy the legend, Lil Buster, real strong, Southern Bulldog, keep the bloodline long. Latin force pressure, sniper don't miss. Shaded day, shaded with a killer instinct. Twist, super night power, unit whole rank. Boot camp, click hitting like a Sherman tank. Little fine with the vision. Tennessee dog pound, got their eyes on the pit. All legendary, really the shit. Don't talk about it, be about it.
Yeah, they built it brick by brick.
Talk about it, yeah, they built it brick by brick. Talk about it, yeah, they built it brick by brick. Talk about it, don't talk about it, be about it. Don't talk about it. That's the yard law, from the pups to the legends. Everybody stand tall. Every name on this track got a story that's lit. Don't talk about it, be about it.
Every name on this track got a story that's lit.
Don't talk about it, be about it.
Call this some legendary pit bull shit. 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 Pit bull shit.
Yeah. It's Mo and Mike in the house.
Going hard with the legends. Paying homage, you know. Yo. Twins Mo and Mike, we running this game. Legends in the making, never gonna be the same. Kennels popping hard, these game dogs raised right. The brat, pretty mama, they shining so bright. LeMay, what a day, they breathe the heat. Red Ruby L-Rod, they can't accept defeat. With 38 special and yellow bird, we top tier champions, grand champions, ain't no fear.
Run the register of merit, we got the elite. Made a bug Jeep, yellow Frisco, feel the beat. Females like honey bunching awesome, baby, we tight. Bloodline strong, spreading knowledge, taking flight. Scratch to win, don't talk about it. We the real deal, you know it's no doubt about it.
KPTO, the modern Earl Tudor. Got in the pack, making moves like a tutor. APT, family thick, like legends in the game. Legend of them, Triple M. Shout out the name, Deep South, Roadblock. We upholding tradition. Mama, Southern Kennels, we got that ambition. Hardcore hitter, Stone City brings the fire. The Abrahams, the fam lifting us higher.
Run the register of merit, we got the elite. Made a bug Jeep, yellow Frisco, feel the beat. Females like honey bunching awesome, baby, we tight. Bloodline strong, spreading knowledge, taking flight. Scratch to win, don't talk, be about it. We the real deal, you know it's no doubt about it.
Listen up, respect the hustle, respect the grind. Ben, Nate Dogg, putting in work intertwined. Keeping that legendary status alive, you feel? Don't hate on the ride, catch the bus, we keep it real. What's history without a future? We pay the way, Captain. We make it happen, that's the play.
So here's to the champions, run the race, stand tall. Twins, Mo and Mike, we gon' answer the call. Legends in the game, yeah, we holding it down. In the world of game dogs, we wearing the crown.
Run the register, I'm married, we got the elite. Mayday buck Jeep, yellow Frisco, feel the beat. Females like honey bunching out, so maybe we tight. Bloodline strong, spreading knowledge, taking flight. Scratch to win, don't talk me about it. We the real deal, you know it's true, no doubt about it.
Shout out to Ohio Cash, the man with the plan, Rastaman Boom, schoolboy aka the. There's levels to this game. Develop your game. Develop your game. Develop your game. Develop your game. Rob, 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 rob.
Going hard kennels, yeah, we run this yard. Twin bosses, Mo and Mike, every day they go hard. Line stack heavy like a deck full of cars. From yellow Mayday 8s, they bred real stars. Welcome to the yard where the legends get raised, where the chain spots shine and the bloodlines praise. Grand champ King Kunta with that royal type stride. Red ruby in the pen, red hot worldwide. The brat in the cut, keep the hustle on track. Pretty mama got the look and the structure intact. L-Ride bring the heat, yellow bird bring the flame. Gus and 38 special certified in the game. What day in the ring, crowd love in the scene. Dogs moving like ghosts in the champion's dream. From yellow to buck, their foundation is tough. Yellow buck in the veins, yeah, the roots run rough. Mayday in the pedigree, ace in the spine. That old school fire still alive in the line. Twin brothers in command, pushing forward with pride. Going hard on the banner, let the whole world ride. Hard work in the yard, every sunrise earned. Legacy in the dirt, with every chain spot turn. No shortcuts, taking no champions bought. Just blood, sweat, time, and the lessons they taught. Going hard kennels, yeah, we run this yard. Twin bosses, Mo and Mike, every day they go hard. Line stack heavy like a deck full of cards. Yellow Mayday ace, turning pups into stars. Sheriff Pal bought us in the gang, stamp legit. Find him in Tornadoes pedigree. Hall of Fame, double grand champion. James Pogay, the formula showed how to build and sustain. Blueprints in the blood, yeah, the knowledge remain. T.O. our partner, Ohio Cash showed how to win. Turn losses into lessons, now it's trophies we spin. Mama, Triple M, deep south in the mix. Arsenal, Kennel, Stone City, solid foundations, no tricks. Hardcore, BLB up in the spec, it's 6. Yes, yes. Tom, Tony Wade, Southern Kennels, real ones through time. Time from Pro Set, Windy City, combined in place. Low type, apex pressure built for the chase. Gotta eat boys, black ice, hunger sharp as a blade. Third verse for the legacy, every debt fully paid. Yeah, I said third verse for the legacy, every debt fully paid.
We in the trenches, feel that hunger in the air.
Yeah. Welcome to the yard. If you're tough, you can stare. Yeah.
Yeah, welcome to the yard, where the chain spots shine, bloodlines run deep, every pedigree's prime. The game APBT, worldwide pride. You come correct, or stay the hell outside, legacy made. We grind, we hustle, twin bosses, Mo and Mike locked in the scuffle. Yeah, we run the yard, iron fists and grit. When the sun comes up, no, we never gon' quit. Dudo and Devo, legends carved in stone. Patrick Bolio made the yard they home. Tanned and yellow, they whisper through the trees. Echoes of greatness, feel that legacy breeze. Going hard, going hard. Yeah, we run this yard, nothing but the best. We don't play it soft, bloodline stack heavy, 52 waist strong in this dog-eat-dog world. We know where we belong, the yard where greatness prevail. Pressure creates knowledge and hard work. It's how history bakes, all on the fucking deal. Pressure creates knowledge and hard work. It's how history bakes. Tails in the dirt, every chain spot turn, lessons learned hard. Like the scars we earn, no shortcuts taken. Champions ain't bought, just blood and sweat. This legacy taught from Mayday to Ace, Buck to Jeep. Every warrior counts, we ain't losing no sleep. Heat like a furnace, knowledge is the key. In the yard we trust, we got the pedigree. Feel the intensity, blaze in the fight. In the shadows of the yard, we rewrite the night. From the ring to the chain, we like kings cut out. Mo and Mike, every victory's what we shout. Going hard, going hard. Yeah, we run this yard, nothing but the best. We don't play it soft, bloodline stacked heavy, 52 waist strong in this dog-eat-dog world. We know where we belong, the yard in the dirt. Yeah, knowledge and hard work. It's how history made y'all in the dirt. Yeah, knowledge and hard work. It's how history made. Yeah, legacy in the dirt. Yeah, to that fame. The game APBT. Remember the name, so step back. If you can't handle the heat, the yard's going hard. Put the game on repeat, it's Mo and Mike. Kings in this game, going hard kennels. Forever reign the same, nigga.
The dog game is dying. Let's talk about the game first, not the dogs. It's the challenge of the wins, the competitive addiction, the thrill of the win, and the rewards of achievements. Losing only gives you the drive to come back. I learned to watch the winners. My motivation was there, my dedication was evident, now I'm a winner. The problem is the cheating to win, manipulating the truth, and then it's the all-out liars. How is this sharing our achievements with liars, cheaters, and bullshitters? We have lost the historical value of the dog game. We can't decipher the real from the fake, the lost is the cost. So I salute these dogs of Going Hard Kennels for all that you've given me in the game.
Let's talk about pit bulls. The history, the breeding, the maintaining and feeding, and the controversies surrounding the great hunts. Come interact with the legends, and ask questions, and listen to their stories as we talk about kennels and dogs of the past and present. Hosted by one of the game's most respected kennels, with over 40 years in the hunt, Going Hard Kennels Twin 1 and Twin 2, dogs like Champion the Debrat, the very first champion off Grand Champion Mayday, the Dog of the Year, and Register of Merit. Champion Pretty Mama, 2-time Best in Show and 2-time Gamest in Show. Going Hard's Bay Bay, Register of Merit, Damn to Champion What a Day, Champion Gus, Champion Elrod, Champion Yellowbird. So pull up a seat, and let's talk dogs.